Hello, 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 my lovelies. Good afternoon. I know it's not morning, but I had laundry and stuff to do, and Ashley kindly took me. I actually didn't post a picture of us, but I will later. So I was running late because we had just gotten home from the laundromat, so I apologize for being so. Okay, so sorry, I just got home, so like I get a million things thrown at me at one time. I apologize. All right, I got a cup. Listen, I'm disgusted almost every day with this motherfucker. And I saw I'm not really understanding what's going on with JFK other than him and the other two guys there, James Jackson and Kevy Kev, did some short live stream basically talking about see you down the road or whatever. It was very ominous. I don't even know what it means, but I really hope that they weren't sort of bullied, right? Into being quiet, because that's essentially what the shriddle wants. That's what the shriddle wants. And that's very unfortunate, because this is the result of him getting really away with all the things that he does and then bullying people into silence or to go away, right, with all of his ridiculous, nonsensical cult people that literally just repeat exactly what he says like a fucking parrot. Okay, they literally will repeat word for word what he said about someone. They don't care if it's true. They just assume it is. I think Lily kind of said it best on the spaces last night. She didn't know me. She knew nothing about me. All she knew was he said I was bad, therefore that means I'm bad. Oh, I forgot to shut off the... And buffering at the same time. I'm just so lucky. Hold on. Sorry, I forgot to put my phone on silent earlier. There's a lot going on today. But here's the thing, right? Anybody who repeats and believes this nonsensical fucking bullshit that he keeps saying needs to check themselves, because it takes one thing for you to do. You can look at him sideways and you're the next person that he's just going to make shit up about. Anybody who comes to him with a rumor, he's going to say it like it's fact. Anybody who makes up some fake document, he's going to bring it out to the public as if it is fact. He does absolutely zero research to make sure that the shit he's putting out is true. I'm not sure, Barbara. I'm not really sure. They didn't really say, you know? I mean, he's going to keep... So here's the thing, right? If he's going to keep trashing me, it's because I'm saying things he does not want people to hear. It's really that simple, right? It's not that deep. I'm saying things he knows are true, and he doesn't want people to know that they're true. It's really that simple. So what's the fastest way to get people to not listen to the person who's telling the truth about you? Trash them. Right? Trash them. His famous words, apparently, I got the clip this morning, was trying to trash Esty for being in my live, which is despicable and disgusting. Okay. And trying to say that because I posted a picture of my child because she's sick, I'm not allowed to post a picture of her. Because of course his narrative was it was to win a Twitter war. No, it was to show people how strong that kid is, and she'll be stronger than any of those fucking trolls out there, period, number one, okay? And number two, only because she's sick, that's not appropriate. The fact that he said abusive even. Really, I didn't know it was an abusive to a 20-year-old to post her picture. People make entire vlogs about their child's challenges, especially with a rare disease like what my daughter has. Especially with something like that. I post a picture and it's abusive. Get the fuck out of here, bro. That narrative is so far ridiculous that people actually repeated that to me. The trolls came and they repeated these things. If you're somebody watching him and you're repeating these things, it doesn't stop in your brain to go, oh, well, I have a kid with autism, or my sister has a kid with autism and they have a blog, or they post pictures of their kids. What would make it different of him posting a picture of his son? Because he does and he has, right? So it's okay for him to post a picture of his son wearing the same shirt as him, being like, oh, neither one of us want to change. We didn't do it on purpose. That's okay because his child is not sick, right? But because my child has a terminal illness, it's not okay. Yeah, take that shit and shove it the fuck up your ass. Also, keep my fucking kid's name out your mouth. It's that simple. Stop talking about my children. My children don't like you, bro, okay? They don't like you. Go ask one of my children what they think about their mother. My children are mummy's girls, okay? Their mother will always have their back no matter what. Maybe start working on actual content, right? But that's the thing. They shouldn't have been bullied. But that's exactly what happens. He's gonna keep doing it. But the answer isn't to fold. The answer is not to fold. You know? They probably would. I mean, I don't know if they'd be trying to sell more tickets, but just going away, it might actually sell more tickets because people are going to want to ask them in person, what's going on? Don't downplay what this will do to you. Don't, because if you've never been through this, constant attacks on you, it does affect you as a person. It's your mental health. It's your sanity, right? Especially if it's your first time being attacked like that, it can fuck with you. It can fuck with you. It can really, really fuck with you, right? Yes, girl, yes. You work too hard. I know there's no such thing, but you need a break. I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. But at the same time, that's exactly why it was done to them, so they would do that. It's unfortunate. It's not the way it's supposed to work. People aren't supposed to be bullied into submission. That's not normal. Anybody who thinks that's normal has another thing coming, right? If you're repeating the things that he's saying just to repeat them, you have no agency. You can't be like, no, I just think he's awesome and cool. And let me speak real quick, right? Let me speak real quick. Hey, guys. Hello, everybody. Let me speak real quick to Valerie from last night's Spaces, since she wanted to wait until I hopped off, okay, to say shit. Let me be clear here, considering Valerie thinks it's so funny to talk about other people, but she doesn't like it when it happens to her, okay? Let me be clear. I've talked about this numerous times, as most of you who have been with me long-term know. My opinion on the Karen Read case didn't change because Turtle Boy bad. That's not what happened, not even by a fucking long shot. When I got into the case, there was no evidence. Didn't exist yet. It was all just court documents. That's it. It was he said, she said, and we really didn't have anything from the Commonwealth. We had basically what the defense was saying, and that was it. We didn't have shit. We didn't have shit. We literally did not have shit. After Aiden lied the way he did, I had to take a second look and be like, holy shit, if this man can lie that easily about X, Y, and Z, what else was he lying about, right? So I started digging. Well, he said that they were finding pieces of taillight on the top of the snow. It wasn't underneath the snow, so how did it get on the top of the snow? Well, privately, I obtained the evidence to show, oh, wait, there's a fucking video showing them digging it out and using a leaf blower to get to look, right? So that can't be fucking true, right? So he lied about that. There were numerous things that he lied blatantly about. And I was like, wait a second, this is not, hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. I'm mind blown right now. And so I started from scratch. I said, fucking scratch this. I have to now start over and look at it all. And that's exactly what the fuck I did. I didn't change my opinion because he's a scumbag and a piece of shit. He's still a scumbag and a piece of shit. I changed my opinion based on the fucking evidence, and the things that he was claiming did not match the actual evidence. Right? So that's the conclusion I came to. Everybody else could come to their own conclusion, a different conclusion. But that is the conclusion that I came to, right? So don't sit there on your high horse. Wait for me to come down from a spaces and then tell everybody why I changed my mind. Are you me all of a sudden? I didn't know you were me. Right? I didn't know you were fucking me. That's what Turtle Boy told you, right? Everyone who thinks Karen Reed was innocent, who changed their mind, it's because Turtle Boy bad, right? That's what he tells everyone. That's not the truth. That's not true. There are plenty of people who think Karen's innocent who can't stand him. Two things can be true at the same time. People can think he sucks, and people can think she's innocent or guilty. Imagine that. Imagine that. Fucking imagine. They do. And again, anybody who knows me knows that, so it's just ridiculous, ridiculous. Yeah, I don't think that's it at all. Believe me, I've been through this. I know what it does. I know what it does, It's sad. But again, well, it is the problem. For him, it's the problem, right? For him, it's a fucking issue. He needs to shut that shit down. He needs to shut it down by smearing people. That's what he does. It's what he does, right? I expected it. I have a channel. You want to trash me? Cool. Trash me all you want, bro. I don't give a fuck what you say about me. Because once again, I'm not an insecure little boy like you. I'm a grown-ass fucking woman. Right? I've been with my husband 11 years. I have 3 children. I don't need a fucking pat on the back from a turtle. Some people clearly do, right? And what Lily was saying about that mob mentality, about just believing everything he says and having no agency and not even realizing it, that's truth. She's still deprogramming, as you can tell. Like, there are still some things I can see that she automatically does and automatically believes just because he said so. I saw yesterday, she posted that he said, oh, well, he can't do the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case. It's a conflict of interest because his attorney is Kelsey's attorney. Well, how the fuck would that be a conflict of interest? Not that I'm saying, like, this has nothing to do with Lily. Other people are saying it too. But how the fuck? But this is my point, is somebody said, how do you know that? And she said, and I like Lily. And she said, I admit, because he said so. That was the answer, because he said so, right? What conflict is there, guys? He's not an attorney, right? Aiden's not an attorney. Brado can't talk to him about Kelsey's case. Okay? There's confidentiality between a lawyer and his client so that Brado can't talk to Aiden about Kelsey's case. So what conflict exists? He's not an attorney. There is no conflict. He could cover that case or any other one that Brado happens to be an attorney on. There's no conflict. If you're going to keep playing the I can't cover it because it's a conflict game, where was the conflict with the Norfolk District Attorney's Office or the state police and not covering Karen's case? You've done rape, corruption in the Mass State Police before, so isn't that conflict, Aiden? Come the fuck on. There's no conflict. He's not an attorney. There is no conflict. He can't get information from Brado unless Brado's breaking the law and illegally giving an information on the case. I mean, is that what you're saying, sir? There's no conflict. There's no fucking conflict. None. Zero. He doesn't want to do cases because he can't understand them. Okay? He can't. It's a thing. I know, right? Isn't it amazing? I had to, first of all, you're a bitch if you wait. Okay? You're a bitch if you wait until I get off. Okay? Stop it. Greg Altman, please take your trolling somewhere else, sir. I literally have been paid to do people's makeup and my hair looks beautiful. So you're just fucking mad. Don't be jelly, Bob. Don't be jelly. Don't be, and that's the thing. If that's all you have to say about me is to be like, oh, your hair looks horrible and your makeup is childish, cool. I don't give a fuck what you think. Isn't that amazing? I didn't put it on for you. Put it on for myself. See, that's the difference in loving yourself. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. See, you mistake me for someone who gives a shit. You don't. Come on, stop it. Some people didn't learn the existence of him until afterwards. And I totally get that, I heard you, I saw the hi, I heard you say hi, but I was already gone from the speaker position at that point. I was listening though, Carol, I heard you. I just couldn't reply because I wasn't speaking anymore. I mean, once again, I feel like I don't know why these trolls waste their time. Like, if you're coming into my chat, guess what? I'm not even seeing what you write. My mods are bouncing you before I ever see it. So I don't know, like, you're talking to yourself at that point. You're talking to yourself. Have fun with that. Have fun with that. Mastermind of what they're doing right now. I mean, it's his channel, so I mean, I guess he's, it's going to be his choice, obviously. I mean, they could see that's the thing. If they're bringing the rude, hateful comments, it's because I'm pissing them off. Why would I be pissing you off? What are you so mad about? Right? What are you so angry about? What are you so fucking angry about? That your little turtle leader isn't the guy you thought he was? Come on. I mean, I did want to speak a little bit more, but I really didn't have. Sorry, we're like totally buffering today. It is 4:00, so. Yes, Gray was being sarcastic. It's what he meant, I mean, of course he did. What else is he going to talk about? He has nothing else to talk about. I mean, that just proves it, right? There's nothing else to talk about. Nothing. If you're talking about a channel with less than 3,000 subs, you really have nothing to fucking talk about. Once again, proving who he is. So does he think he's helping himself here? I'm gaining subs. Thank you, Aiden. Thank you. Thank you. You're waking people up to what a piece of human garbage you are. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thanks, bud. Thank you. Thank you, bud. I mean, I don't know. That's what it seemed like. I have no idea what they're actually doing, what they're not. If they're just moving on to a different story, and that's what it is. I don't know. I don't know. I hope that they're not just folding into what can be a lot to deal with. It can be. I'm not gonna. It can. You can. But it is what it is. I hear you. There's going to be more than that. So you got a good trigger finger though, because I don't even see them. So you're already quick. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate that very, very much. Now, before I get into some stuff, because I do have some updates on what happened with Ashley and the dead turtle that was sent to her, and among other things that we're going to talk about today. So before I get into all that, before I get into all of that, I want to, hold on. Hey, Red Racer. Oh, condensed version. I don't know if I can do the condensed version. Heard you on Spaces last night. Has no idea who to fuck with. JFK gets mad respect in the city, especially. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. I just hope that it's not what I think. Believe me, I've seen this, dealt with it numerous times, and I'll keep dealing with it. As long as I keep speaking truth about him, he'll keep trashing me until the end of time. I'm a bad person. I'm a terrible mother. I'm a scammer. I'm a liar. Anybody who knows me knows all those things are completely false. So that's the difference. Like, I don't give a fuck what he says about me. He says the same thing about every single fucking person. Not to mention, he knows publicly and privately that I help his victims. And so he's inching himself towards a witness intimidation charge. That's on him. He can keep doing whatever the fuck he wants, but it's public that I help his victims. The ones that he has blackmailed and threatened as well. The ones that aren't public for a multitude of reasons. Gee, I wonder why. He's totally doing free marketing for me, dude. I gained like 30 or 40 subs. So thanks, Aiden. Appreciate it. And I get an email a day. I get about an email a day from people who are like, thank you for waking me up. Thank you for allowing us into your chat. Thank you. And here's the thing. To sit there and say, like they did in Spaces last night, that Chris can't talk to me. Nobody can talk to Twisted. Twisted's bad, right? Can't talk to Twisted because Twisted thought that Karen was guilty. Okay, well, my stance hasn't changed on that. Everybody knows that, right? Not a secret. I think she's guilty, okay? Some people think she's innocent. Some people think she's guilty. The trial's over, okay? Hello, trial's over, right? I don't have to hate people for their opinion. That would be like saying, hey, this person's Catholic and this person's Buddhist. Well, I'm Buddhist, so I can't talk to that Catholic person. It's us versus them. Screw them. And then trashing them, talking shit about them, their families, because they're a different religion than me. And I don't believe the same thing they believe. Do you know how fucking absurd and ridiculous that sounds? Like, do you understand what you're saying? Oh, well, you can't advocate for Karen Reed if you talk to people who think she's guilty. Why not? Do you realize that most conflicts are resolved by reaching across to the other side, right? That's usually how it works. Geniuses. That's usually how it fucking works. I mean, I'm just fucking saying, you know? Oh, no, Casey, I'm sorry. I'm actually on 2 different medications now. One for my liver, which I was born with like a bum liver, and one medication that like I've lowered the milligrams on, and so I have been feeling shitty. The medication's supposed to make you feel shitty. It's makes you sick, makes you feel sick and tired, and but it's only like so many weeks, and then I won't feel like that. So I just got to get through a couple of weeks, you know. I ran around today. I probably pushed myself too hard, but I had a lot of shit to do. I have this Halloween party on Saturday, and you know, I had all my bills were due on the 15th. So, you know, I had a limited amount of funds to be able to do what I needed to do to get everything that I needed to get for this Halloween party on Saturday. And I don't drive, so Ashley kindly came to take me to do my laundry and run around. Me and this StreamYard are going to fight in a second with all this buffering. You know, what the hell, StreamYard? What in the actual hell, StreamYard? Oh, no. While I'm fixing this, I'm sorry, guys. It's like really wants to aggravate my life is what it wants to do. And you guys know I have more than one screen, so I'm, you know, I have you guys on this. Well, I have you on both screens technically, but I have 2 screens. Once my desk is set up completely and I've moved this room around like I'm planning on doing tomorrow, hopefully they'll both be next to each other like this, so I don't have to really worry about looking to the side much. It'll be kind of all in front of me. But I mean, that sucks if that's the case, you know. That sucks if that's the case. Yeah, I hear that though. I hear that. Some people might need a good fucking smack around, you know. Like, come on. Like, come the fuck on with it. Let's hope so, you know, because that's where he belongs. All the people are like, oh, right. Yes, I do want him in jail. Why? Because he harms people. He's harmful. He lies. He's a rumor mill. That's essentially what he built his brand on, is a fucking rumor mill. All right, that's what he does, and it's unfortunate. But he clearly does not know how to level up. He shoots himself in the foot numerous times. Hey, Laura, over and over and over and over. That's what he does. You know, he doesn't really know how to do anything else, really, at all. Okay. And it's unfortunate because I know there's a lot of people that really listen. I have friends who like him, and I'm like, they know why I don't, right? And they're like disappointed. Like, I'm a little disappointed. Like, he could have continued doing other cases or stories, and he went back to just attacking and punching down on people. Like, it's weird, you know? Like, so when he keeps doing it, all he's doing is harming himself and making people realize who he is. You know, of course he is. He's sending his little troll accounts in here. But the funniest part is, I don't give a fuck. That's the difference. He doesn't seem to understand that I don't actually give a fuck. I don't actually give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what he has to say to me. I don't care what his little minions have to say about me. They don't know me. None of them do. They say what they're told to think. Deprogramming is a thing. When you come out of a cult, deprogramming is an actual fucking thing, guys. Okay? It's an actual thing. You know, it's funny because I do get messages from a lot of them. I've been getting them for at least 2 weeks now, of people being like, I'm disgusted with him, and I apologize for just believing shit just because, you know, and then they have to stop and think, how many other people did he say were bad, right? That they didn't even know or give a chance to, right? Obviously, Lily told you guys last night. She had to actually sit and think about that. And deprogramming with a cult is not something that magic. Hold on, guys. Sorry, I don't know. They turn the TV up loud, and all you can hear is the background noise, and I'm not trying to get a copyright strike here. My room's not soundproof here. They are full of hate, but see, that's the thing, right? And I think what Chris was trying to explain to them is you can still be friends with someone or even acquaintances or have a common goal and not agree with them on something else, right? That's a thing. You can actually fucking do that. It's a real life thing, right? And I am glad to have met people, including Esty. He wants to attack Esty for what? What did Esty do to you? You're mad she was in my chat? So what? Have you ever, I don't know, had a one-on-one conversation with her? Do you actually know who she is as a person? Because I find her to be a wonderful, kind, loving person if you actually get to know her, right? I have nothing but love for her. And for people to treat her the way they did, it gives me a flashback to what they did to me. And it just goes to show these are not good people, right? They go where their little, mob of people make them follow. I don't have that here. I don't have a mob of people to follow. There is no one. It's me. That's it. There's no other creator telling me what I can and can't talk about. There's nobody telling me what victims I can help and which victims I'm not. I'm going to help every victim that comes to me that needs my help, just as I would if I wasn't on YouTube. Sorry, they're like super loud outside the door. Like, can you guys move away from the door? Like, come on, man. No, thank you, Sasha, for watching, because that's important too. Like, those of you who watch and like and share and support the channel, like, that's important too. You realize his whole trashing me is a way to make people not watch me, not support the channel, not do any of those things, so that the channel won't be able to survive and I'll just die out. That's the goal, right? That's his goal, is to make it so that this channel, because it's a small channel, just goes away and stops talking. That's the goal ultimately for him and any other channel he attacks. It's the same. Make people hate them so they don't go and check it out and see. Funny enough, all these same people just loved me, absolutely loved me, when I thought maybe Karen would be innocent. Funny how that works, isn't it? Well, she changed her opinion. That was the thing. Well, she changed her opinion. Yeah, people do that when more evidence comes out. People do that when more information is given to them. That's, kind of how deductive reasoning and critical thinking skills work, right? Some people become Democrat and change to Republican over a year's time. Some people go from Republican to Democrat over a year's time. They have life experiences, they get more information, and they change their minds. It's no different. It's literally no different, guys. It's no freaking different. Okay? It's no different. It just really isn't. It's no different. But that's what they hope to do, right? That's what they hope to do. Drown out the smaller channels that are going to speak the truth. Yeah, they're all going to be. I apologize to my mods in advance. Thank you. I appreciate that. They are hard. They are. Unfortunately, I was born with a sort of shitty liver. I was in the hospital for many months as a kid. So it just kind of comes with the territory of just getting older, unfortunately. I mean, I think Mike sort of called him out, and it went in one ear and out the other. It went right in one ear and right out the fucking other, unfortunately. I mean, it is what it is. People are going to have different opinions on things. Does that mean that they should attack each other and they should? I mean, no, of course not. We have one troll that keeps coming back with other sock accounts, so clearly we know it's down to like 1 of 5 people, and tells me that my hair is horrible, which is like, do you think telling me my hair is horrible makes it so that my hair is horrible? I fucking love my hair, okay? I love it. It looks beautiful. So do you really think that coming in here and writing your hair and makeup look horrible over and over from different sock accounts is somehow going to affect me? I might cry tonight. I might cry because you said that. Wow, I'm so sad. I'm so upset. I vote for Pedro too. I vote for Pedro. Vote for Pedro. I know it does. That's the funny part. See, I don't need anybody else's, pat on the back except my husband's. He's the only opinion that fucking matters when it comes to the way I look, and he's perfectly happy. Thank you. You are exactly right, R. You are exact. But thank you, Benny. I appreciate you, my friend. I appreciate you. I actually got lots of compliments, lots of messages from people yesterday. We're like, oh my God, your makeup and your hair look so beautiful. Personal messages. So that's why I find it so funny. You're not affecting me by saying something ridiculous that isn't true. So fucking stupid. I just laugh at the fucking stupidity. I really do. But now that Ash is here, let's give her a big shout out. She really, helped me out today. She brought me to do my errands and my laundry and was with me all day, and she didn't have to be. And I appreciate her as a friend more than y'all know. And I will give you the update in here 1 second on what's going on with, of course he sent them, common sense. It's the dog whistle that he gives to attack, right? That's what he does. Dog whistles to attack. He seems happy. Well, of course he's happy about that. Thanks, Jesse. The truth does hurt sometimes, and that's what they're so fucking mad about. That's what they're so mad about, I mean, they were kind of mean to Nan too, these people, You maniac! I know you do, Jess. I know you do. You always do. Of course it is. That's the game, Well, that's good. Well, I hope they come back swinging, honestly. Because outside of, the specific Karen Reed, they do other content, and I appreciate the content. Like, there was a lady talking about her epileptic son, right? And I have a nephew who has refractory epilepsy, and my sister has regular epilepsy. Now, she hasn't had a seizure in years, so technically they weaned her off the phenobarbital medication and all that. So she hasn't had one in years, and she's an adult now. But my nephew is refractory epilepsy, so that means he's med resistant. Right? Med resistant. So meds work for like a short period of time and then they stop working completely. And this started happening when he was around 2 or 3. And I went through the whole process, right? So this woman's talking about how her child is having seizures more at school, like sort of staring seizures or what they call drop seizures. My nephew has those and full, what they used to call grand mal. They changed the names of them over the years, but he also has what's called F&D, right? So it's like you lose control over your muscles and you could just basically like drop, right? And so basically she was, I think, venting or talking about it and was asking some questions to some other woman. And unfortunately I was timed out in the chat at the time because I really wanted to say like, hey, and I was trying to, but I was timed out for like over a half an hour or so. I couldn't, but I really wanted to say to her like, hey, if you send me an email, I can help you out with that. With my nephew, we actually ended up removing him from school and homeschooling because yes, the school was triggering more seizures because stress can trigger seizures, and the pressure that is put on a child, especially a child that's different, they might fall behind on their schoolwork, and the teachers make them feel like they need to catch up, they have to catch up. And so that triggers a lot of anxiety, and their kids are mean, there can be some bullies, and that triggers more anxiety, and so they have more seizures. The problem with that is every seizure they have is putting a hole in their brain, and there's a really real threat of SUDEP, which is basically dying of a seizure sometimes while you're sleeping, when you're supposed to be sleeping. Every time that happens, you get closer to maybe that happening. And so at that point, they're like, no. And it was middle school. They were like, no. And so she pulled him from school. And I did his entire IEP, and I made it specific because, of course, a lot of times the schools will be like, well, their famous line is there was a miscommunication when they don't follow the IEP, or, well, we weren't aware. No, it's in the IEP. So I made it so detailed that there was no way to work around it, and they still couldn't follow it. And at that point, we had got an attorney, and mom is now suing the school for various very serious issues, but we had to pull him from school because they were causing numerous seizures. The second he was homeschooled and not regular public school, guess what happened? Guess what happened in that entire 9-month period? He had one seizure. He was having one every week. One in 9 months. So, I mean, stress is a big thing when it comes to seizures. And I wanted to talk to her or tell her, like, hey, if you reach out, I can give you places that actually do help quite a bit with kids with epilepsy, all kinds. There are camps for kids that have epilepsy that can meet other kids in your area that have like all sorts of things. But I couldn't. I was timed out. So it was unfortunate, That's what he does. Oh, that's what they do. Feed the fire, Of course it is. Of course. It's what they do. See, again, the difference is I don't give a rat's ass. Why watch? I don't watch him. Why watch me? I watch the clips that are sent to me. That's it. I do not go out of my way. I refuse to give that fucking deplorable human being a view or a click in any way, shape, or form. Like, I'm not doing it. His veiled threats have always been a thing. People just don't notice them because it's not aimed at you, right? So people just don't even realize it's a veiled threat. It's what he's been doing for years to try to circumvent the legal system, are using these, veiled threats. That's what he does, It's not cool ever, Of course, well, no. I'll tell you why that's not true. None, yeah. Because previous to Karen Reed, he didn't have an empire. Okay? He had a small channel, and he worked it the same way. These people did the same thing. And so I would agree to disagree with you on that. He does send people to do his bidding, and I know that for a fact. I possess the evidence of that. He's been doing it for a long fucking time. A long fucking time. It's not anything new with him, Oh, yeah, they've been investigating him on that and quite a few other things, It's unfortunate. So funny. Like, I love when they come and, oh, she's just a grifter. Grifting would have been me just screaming free Karen Reed until the cows came home, because I was making decent money on that side. Okay. And even, just be clear, even after he attacked me, I still believe she was innocent and did streams on it. So maybe people also need to get their fucking facts straight. Number one. All right. Number two. If I wanted to be a grifter, I would have just shut my fucking mouth and kept saying it because I was bringing in decent money. I didn't do that because it's not the fucking right thing to do. My belief changed with evidence, things that I had that the public did not, right? Things weren't fucking lining up to what he was saying. And I had the evidence at the tip of my fingers. So that was a fucking problem, That's also true, Ashley. Oh my God, that, that. Oh God, that, it's funny. He thinks he's being followed. And what I found the funniest of all of it was that, he decided that he was gonna talk about how he thought it was bizarre and he was disturbed that this person was sending him messages, because somebody sent me a clip of this earlier. When he was going to this certain, I don't know if it was a grocery store or a restaurant, I have no fucking idea. But whatever, he was disturbed, right? Because they knew him, he was there. What the fuck do you think you did to other people? You think it's disturbing? Do you now? Only when it happens to you, though. Not when it happens to someone. When it happens to someone else, it's funny and they deserve it. But you, sir, no. Tisk tisk, right? Tisk tisk. Nope. Only when it happens to you, you're disturbed, right? Nobody's fucking following you, bro. Nobody cares that much, just saying. Right? What is it, Slender Man in the woods? Slender Man. That's who's following him. It's fucking Slender Man in the woods behind his house. Here's the thing, right? When people come to you and they say, or they have someone else come to you and say, hey, could you please ask police to unblock me? I would like to apologize, right? A, I'm not one to hold a grudge. I'm just not. B, I would like to hear them out. What do they have to say, right? Cool. What do they have to say? Well, usually what they have to say is along the same lines. Not all of them, but a lot of them do come to me and say, listen, I apologize. Not only do I apologize, but I can admit in this point right now that I was in a cult. that I was not thinking for myself. I was saying and doing things I would not normally say and do, and I'm ashamed and I'm disappointed, and I didn't realize it. What are you supposed to say? You're supposed to tell them to go fuck themselves? See, I'm not that kind of person. I feel like life's too short for that. You know, I can take someone's apology and still not be, their bestie. I can take the apology and let bygones be bygones, right? Call it a fucking day. Obviously there are some people I've gotten to know like Esty, but she never did anything to me specifically. As a matter of fact, she actually posted something one time in like agreeing with me about the hate and the vitriol and had to take it down because they bullied her to take it down because she agreed with me. She didn't even tell me that. I just knew, right? I knew. And so did other people. It's like, what the fuck? If you're in, you know what I mean? Like, you have to remember, these people are also falling in line, because if they don't fall in line, what's going to happen to them is going to be what they're watching happening to everyone else. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of people doing things driven by fear, well, that's also true, R, He's doing that. He was obsessed. He's obsessed with his numbers, I hear, right? He lost however many subscribers, and he's obsessed with that. Like, dude, numbers are numbers. They'll go up and down, They'll go up and down. That's life. There's nothing, you can do about it. There's no point in being obsessed over however many you lost or gained. Come on. You gained or you lost. It is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. He's obsessed with it. Thank you so much, Steph. That's okay, because you're driving. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. I mean, first of all, I know it looks good, so that's just fucking ridiculous. Secondly, I really don't need the trolls. Can't. It is. It's what he does. He trolls people all day. Right? All right. So let me fill you guys in on what happened with Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, Pedro was a character in Napoleon Dynamite. Best movie ever, by the way. Oh, the tots. Get tots in his pocket. If you haven't seen the movie, you have to fucking see it. It's hilarious, okay? It is hilarious. No, he doesn't. Want to know why? Because he doesn't know any of it. He can't do true crime. He doesn't know the legal jargon. He doesn't know how to read emotion. And admittedly, they're boring, he says. They're boring because he doesn't understand them. You ever see him listening in court? He's like a deer in headlights. He has no fucking idea what's going on around him. Remember he told everybody his charges would magically be dropped if Karen was found not guilty? Everyone on planet Earth knew that that's not a thing. Except him, apparently. Except him. Okay, see? This is my point, right? You grow, you change your mind, life experiences happen, whatever, right? It happens. Hey, nice to see you, girl. Yeah, those are the best messages, because when people wake up and they realize what they're dealing with, they're disgusted at that point. They're disgusted, and they're like, I can't believe I ever. And then he attacks. And for them, that's confirmation that they should not be following someone like that. They just shouldn't. It's unfortunate. Okay. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. I am not him. He didn't say that. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this. Give me 1 second here. All right, as a matter of fact, okay, because I didn't do this at the beginning of the show, I'll do it now, and then we'll talk about. Me and StreamYard are going to have a friggin' fist fight in a second. Come on, StreamYard. Like, we're not doing this whole buffering bullshit today. For the love of God. All right. Yeah, I didn't do. Oh my God, come on. No, YouTube. The StreamYard is acting up. I have to deal with this thing. It's obnoxious right now. Even though it tells me my connection is excellent, it tells me my internet. Like, it tells me my internet, Of course he's watching. That's what he does, Grave. That's what he does. All right. I didn't do this in the beginning of the show because I was raring to go. I was a little late, and I apologize for being late. But for all of you who would like to support the channel, there are a billion different ways to do so. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Revolut. It's on the screen now. Chime. There's a link in the chat. You can click on, use credit or debit. That is part of what he tries to stop. I am a small channel. I don't get, 50 super chats and 50 donations a night. It's just not what happens on my show. Okay. I am not a show with 300,000 subscribers or even 30,000 subscribers. It's part of what he does, which is try to kill any monetization coming into that show or money or support, and then hope that it goes away, right? Well, let's make sure that doesn't happen. So those are all the monetary ways to support the channel. We do have an Amazon wish list. You can hit the like button. You can subscribe. You can make yourself a member. We have 3 or 4 different tiers of memberships. You can gift memberships. You can do super chats. You can do super stickers. You can do all those things. We can just be here and be a viewer and talk to each other in chat and be just as awesome as you always are. Because that is also very helpful. But no matter what way you choose to support the channel, know that you're supporting someone that doesn't have anybody breathing down their neck about what they're going to fucking say. Someone that doesn't quit easily, that's for sure. And someone who doesn't give a rat's ass how many fake sock accounts Aiden brings in here to say the exact same thing 7 times over. I mean, what are you on your 8th sock account, Aiden? Come on. I mean, it's getting old, bud. It's getting old. Do you have anything else you have to do today? Or no, you're so busy, right? You're so busy you're watching my stream. But you're so busy. So busy you can't do any other actual stories, right? On anything. You're so busy. Well, are you talking privately or publicly? Because you would be shocked at what he does privately. He might not say that publicly, but he absolutely tells people to go to a certain place and say certain things. He absolutely 100% does. They do. He does. He's been doing it for years. All right, so let's talk about the turtle, right? The turtle that Ashley was sent that was deceased in a jar, in a box that was left at the front of her apartment complex, right? What I find so disgusting about the whole thing is that, she isn't doing anything to deserve that other than sticking up for his victims, of which she is one of them, right? It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. So someone was arrested. Okay. Someone was arrested. And they will not disclose who that person was that got arrested. They told us, again, we had to call the Attorney General's office, right? So the police were like, hey, we can't really tell you much other than someone was arrested. You're going to have to call the Attorney General's office, okay? So we called the Attorney General's office, right? And what did they say? Well, they say that this person who was arrested might be basically copping a plea, and they are basically going to be a witness against a second person involved. So basically what it looks like is someone packaged it up and asked this other person to drop it off, right? So very busy. He's always, super freaking busy, super duper busy. So it looks like there's 2 people involved, right? So again, one already was arrested. Second one, I'm sure either, and this was 2 days ago, so either has been arrested or is going to be arrested for working with said other person. So, I mean, I don't know what they thought. You put it in front of a camera like a dumbass, number one. Number two, you really need some serious help, right? If you thought that was like a normal thing to do, was to drop off a dead turtle in a jar as some sort of weird threat to someone, then you need some serious help, okay? I don't know what kind of sick weirdo does shit like that, but it's crazy, and you need some help. You need some very serious help. I don't even have words for how weird it is that someone would do that. You know what I mean? Like, why? Like, why? I don't understand. Like, why? Yeah, I mean, they go up over time, over a day or two, you know? It's not that you're very, very wrong. It's that there are a lot of things that happen behind closed doors that people don't know about, right? And there's a reason why people have very, very strong opinions about who he is, and it's because they know those things, right? It's not just the public stuff, it's the private stuff as well. And it's a problem, you know? It's a freaking problem. It's a problem. He does give himself away. Always, you know? He's not a smart guy. I mean, you're that obsessed that you use 17 sock accounts to say the same thing over and over. I mean, that's pretty sad. That's a good question, Steph. I don't know. So we could do one of a couple things, right? I mean, Jesus, bud. Well, yeah, I mean, that's a great statement, Grave. Even Karen Reed hates Turtle Boy. You are fucking right about that. Maybe he shouldn't have tried to wiretap her, maybe he also shouldn't have tried to blackmail her in the first trial, and I don't know, the hundreds of other fucking things he did, you know? I mean, I don't know why she would hate you. I mean, she probably definitely hates Aiden at this point, though. I'm sure she did. That's the thing. And everyone knew if you covered that case at that point, your numbers would blow up. I did the opposite because that's what my heart told me with evidence, okay? I went the other way because that is what I was getting in evidence was not matching with what they were saying, okay? So if I was a, quote, grifter, wouldn't I go where the fucking money was? Make it make sense, dude. Make it make fucking sense, for the love of God, you know? I mean, maybe they're going to cover other stuff, but I know that they had some important cases they were covering, you know. Jigga's case was an important case, I think, and people weren't covering it. I think JFK said it best, that because there were drugs involved. Okay, so what? Does that mean he deserved to die like that? No, it doesn't. And nobody was saying anything. I didn't know about the case, obviously, but I thought they were doing some pretty good work on that, and I hope they don't stop. I mean, I know that they have made a relationship with somebody in his family, so I'm assuming they will not, but I think maybe they're just taking a break. But either way, that's what Aiden wanted. You know, that's what he wanted them to do. He wanted them to go away even for just a minute, an hour, a week. You know what I mean? I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all, because that's exactly what he does. But what does that tell you, right? What does this tell you? This tells you that they know about the times that he has tried to get people charged for things they didn't fucking do. That's a problem, right? Hello, wake up, people. When you know is right. When you know is right. It means when you know, you know. That's what it means. But I get it. I get why. You know, it's what he does, is try to like manufacture evidence, run to the police station over and over and over and over and demand that they charge someone. It's crazy. It's insane. But it's the same shit over and over and over. I mean, dude's got a screw loose. That's for damn sure. You know? Oh my God, Ashley. Oh, she cracks me up. I mean, he is definitely a wannabe cult leader, but still being a cult leader nonetheless. I mean, the brainwashing is real. People don't realize this. People they really, really do brainwash you. Like, these people have come out of it and admitted, like, yes, I was in a, like, people fail to realize there are people who have come from that cult, got out of it, and have nothing to do with really anything, and are like, oh my God, I was in a fucking cult. I wasn't thinking for myself. I was doing basically whatever a good cultist would do. That's crazy talk, you know? But definitely not smart enough. You're right. I have no idea what what their relationship is. I've never asked that question. You know, and he's definitely an out of control lunatic, you know? You can say that again, T12. Nobody, he wouldn't do that in the middle of Boston. Nobody gives a fuck about a camera in the middle of Boston, it just, it's that simple. Well, I mean, I can say this. I can say Aiden's good at lying. That's clear. But he used to tell women that he lived with his wife still. They weren't together, but that he slept on the couch, lived with her still because they would lose the house, and his children would lose the house because they couldn't afford it. So he lived there to help pay for the house still. Otherwise, his children wouldn't have a house. So that was the lie, right? That he still lives with her, but they're not together, and his children will lose the house if he leaves, right? That was the whole lie, and it's believable because it's happened to real life people, right? People have been in those scenarios and have had to do that so their children could keep, the house. That's real. So, I mean, that's the problem. That's the problem, is people don't seem to realize the amount of lies they're being fed. I don't blame, I don't doubt it. It's what he does. See, that's the thing. He seems to think that you can trash me as much as you want, Aiden. It shows everybody who you are. It shows other people who you are. That's what it does. I'm only telling things you know to be true, bud. You know them to be true. And I'll say this with my chest because he knows it too. Why not just take responsibility for any of it, Aiden? Then nobody would have anything to talk about, right? If maybe you just took some responsibility for the things that you've done. I mean, you admitted the other day it's just revenge, right? It's jealousy. You're insecure. We all remember that, right? That's what you said. I have the whole entire clip. Trying to convince everybody else you're not a narcissist while literally naming everything that a narcissist is. It's amazing. I mean, I don't know. There's a condom world in Boston. I guess you could probably check it out. I mean, that's crazy. To say that is crazy. All right. I'm sorry, but I don't think Enrique Delgado died of a brain aneurysm at all. All right. Again, two separate cases. Karen's case is completely different than anyone else's case. I do not think Enrique died of a fucking brain aneurysm. Okay. He died in that boxing ring of blunt force trauma is what they said. Does that sound like a fucking brain aneurysm to you there, bud? Didn't he also say Sandra Birchmore definitely committed suicide, which, by the way, Farwell had a hearing today and they just extended it for another date. But it was federal, so there's no video. There's no cameras allowed in federal courthouse. Of course he's watching. That's what he does. I'd be proud of that too if I were you. That's for sure. Sure do. I concur with you on that. I concur. Well, yeah, he's blowing through fake accounts at this point. Him or one of his minions, either one. It doesn't really matter to me. Right? You can always purchase more. Yeah, I remember him saying that, which is completely absurd. It's absurd. She was in a sitting position. My dad committed suicide. She was in a sitting position, dude. Okay? The second I got the details of that, I knew. I fucking knew. I knew that she did not commit suicide. There was no chance in hell. Oh yeah, that's, I'm bad. I'm bad. But that's the thing, right? We can agree to disagree on one thing and not agree. We can find other things that we can agree on, right? We don't have to hate each other and bash each other. But if you're going to sit there and cult speak why I think something, well, why don't you ask me instead of speaking for me? And why do you wait until I jump down before you open your mouth? I mean, asking for a friend here. If I had something to say, I don't think I would wait for the person to jump down before I said it. Now, would I? That's cowardly shit. That's cowardly shit. Have a conversation like a normal fucking human being. Or stay in the cult. I could care less. That's the difference. I could fucking care less. I have conversations with people on the other side of the aisle every fucking day. Why? Because there are people waking up from this shit every day being like, holy shit, I was in a cult. I cannot believe that I didn't understand, that I didn't know, that I just was blindly believing and blindly doing whatever he told me to, running to help him no matter what it was, when he wanted it. I did it like an idiot, not really even thinking about why, not thinking about who it's going to hurt, not thinking about what's happening behind closed doors that I don't fucking know about. And why are people saying the same thing about him over and over and over? All different people from years and years back to years and years forward. I mean, it can't possibly be everybody else, can it? I mean, any logical thinking person would be like, okay, this person's been accused by dozens and dozens of people of the exact same thing numerous times. Some people who've never even met each other and don't know each other. Hello? You know, if it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Just saying. Yeah, it was, thank you, Jesse, October 2026. Air Wands. Actually, Essie finds the joke funny. What I don't find funny is that she bought him those sneakers to be a friend, and then he just fucking turned his back on her when the turtle and his weirdo girlfriend decided they wanted to have some, you know, jealousy big dick contest. Like, come on. Ridiculous. No, yeah, but they moved, they like put another date on for October of 2026. Jesse watched it for me. You know, right? I love that James is a journalist now. Maybe I'll be one too. We will, Donna. We will. We will. We will. You know, TV Singer, my pal, told me you were crushed when he said he can't talk to you anymore. Loser. I mean, hey. Yeah, I mean, hey. I mean, everyone's a journalist if Aiden is, right? I mean, fuck. If you could just get things given to you and you never check the information and you just put it out like it's fact all the time, I guess everybody's a fucking journalist then if they, you know, share memes. I mean, let's not think they're gone. Maybe they're not gone. Maybe they're just taking a break, right? Let's not, gotta think positively, guys. Positively. Yeah, state rep. Do you know how many state reps that I've talked to in the 18 years I've been a volunteer advocate? Probably many more than he fucking knows. He can call all the state reps he wants. They're not going to help him. He's too much of a fucking liability at this point. Yeah, I'm behind in this. Right? Fuck. I mean, apparently everywhere. He does that apparently everywhere. You know what I mean? Apparently it's everywhere. I'm guessing it was a troll. I don't even see them. They're gone before I can ever see them, so they're gone before I can ever freaking see them. Thank you, Michael. I'd like to know I'd open it. They're not very smart. They're not very smart. You left it right in front of a fucking camera, you dumb fucks. You dumb fucks. You left it right in front of a goddamn camera. Oh, we're going to find out names, because here's the thing. Even if they don't tell us, all we're going to do is FOIA who was arrested that week. We'll find out ourselves. Right now, we can't because it's still an active investigation, but they can't keep fucking active forever. I understand, you know, people have to be protected, and this person's flipping and he's going to be a witness, but they're also a fucking perpetrator. Okay? And I think she deserves to know who the fuck she needs to be keeping. They called to say he wouldn't be, or he or she wouldn't be that person wouldn't be bothering her anymore. Okay, well, that's great, but I'm not going to take your fucking word for it. You know, a lot of times domestic violence perpetrators will say that they're not going to go to someone else and kill them when you have a restraining order, but they fucking do it anyway. So I'm certainly not going to take a cop's word and say, oh, that person's not going to bother you anymore. Cool. I'll just take your fucking word. Cool. I'll just take your fucking word for that. Not. We want the fucking names. We want to know who the fuck it is. You know? Yeah, that's the other thing. After I announced this on Twitter, magically now he's talking about the turtle from his mother's house from forever ago. Like, wow. Huh? We do. We want the fucking names. And we'll get them. One way or another, I'll get them. Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that be fucking funny? You know? That's okay. You never know. You know? You never know. Maybe they pop back in tonight. You don't know. You don't know. You never know. You know? You never know. Never know. That's a good question. I don't know. When the Attorney General's office tells us, or when I have to end up lawyering the fucking information myself and figuring it out myself because they won't tell us. You know? Yeah, someone was arrested. I don't really know who it was. They won't tell us who it was. But I mean, let's think about this for a second. There's nobody else out there except the sewer crew that has any issue with Ash. She's a victim and someone who helps his victims. Stands to reason that would be the only reason she'd be targeted. You know what I mean? So, stands to reason, you know, it's probably some idiot from over there. Well, I mean, yeah, unless they're underage, but I highly doubt that to be the case at all. This person basically immediately flipped on the person who apparently they were told to do it by. So, I mean, doesn't take long to figure. Yeah, it was planned. Obviously, it was planned. It was very, very planned. But again, it's you could say that again. But apparently he's done that before. Picked the wrong people to sort of fucking hang out with, and you know. No, I'm just not going to play that game. You know what I mean? Like that's a threat. It was sent as a threat. There's no other reason it would be sent. There's no other reason it would have happened. There was no note that was like, aha, actually, this is funny, right? It was meant as a threat. I'm not sure. We were not told that. We were just told that basically they were arrested and that that they're cooperating against the other person. So that makes them a witness. So they can't tell us their name unless a trial happens. And I mean, here's the thing. Once they're arraigned, it's public record anyway. So either I check the arraignments or I check the arrests, and I find out either way. You're totally welcome. You're totally welcome. You know, that wouldn't surprise me, I'll tell you that much. If it was, it wouldn't surprise me, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was a multitude of people. There are some really, really sick people that follow him. Really sick people that they really need help, you know? It's unfortunate. I'm happy that there are people waking up, but there are so many more that are just completely not getting it, you know? I know you do. And I totally understand why you struggle with it. A lot of people do for a long while, but you know, you gotta do something different, you know? I mean, yes, that could happen, but that's not what I think happened, you know? I don't think that's what happened when it comes to MK. Right. Thank you, Leah. Thank you. You know, we could just have conversations like normal fucking adults and not be hating all the time. I mean, that's also a normal thing to do, you know? But you shouldn't be, right? You shouldn't be jumped on just for joining. I mean, I get why they would guess you were like a sock account or a fake account because, you know, there's no picture. I mean, but some people remain anonymous because they're harassed into oblivion if they don't remain anonymous. And that's not fair either, right? That's not fair either. You know? No, he didn't run out. He's got dozens. He's got a fucking spreadsheet. You know what I mean? Spreadsheet of them shits. Did you see the hidden crime video upload? Which talks about being cyber harassed, mobbing, shaming, and environment. No, I didn't. Can you send that to me, Emily? Either by email or on DM on X. I would actually love to see that. I think with Birchmore, I don't, to be honest, I also don't think that the Stoughton PD, in my opinion, has gotten any better, right? So they're still not doing what they're supposed to be doing over there, right? They're still not fucking doing their job at the Stoughton PD. That's a problem for me, right? I was just contacted by someone today, right? That got a death threat via the phone. Like someone called them, right? And they were smart enough to say, hey, I'm recording, and record the rest of the conversation, right? The person threatens not only them, but their family members, okay? And then basically says they're gonna, you know, pee on their grave and they're gonna slit people's throats and they're gonna kill the dog too, and then calls their family member who has mental disabilities. It's an adult, but more like what my my sister or my sister-in-law have, My sister-in-law has Down syndrome and my sister has AP deletion. So they're adults, but the disability is here. It's not physical, it's here. Their mental capacity is more childlike. And so this person gets on the phone, screams and yells and tells them, I'm going to kill the dog and the retard too, right? This is what happens. Now, all of this, it happens because the person is driving down the street with the boyfriend and sees the ex-girlfriend, which they used to be friendly. They lived in the same neighborhood, so they used to still run into each other all the time. Saw her post about a dog, and she was like trying to find somebody to take the dog or give up the dog, whatever. And they pulled over and were like, hey, are you still looking for someone to take the dog? I might know somebody to take the dog. And so instead of just answering them or just saying, no, thank you, and walking away, she went home, talked to her new boyfriend. The new boyfriend decided he was going to call and threaten people simply for that very small interaction of nothingness. And so this person, says, okay, well, I'm going to record you if you're going to keep threatening me. And the person's like, I don't give a fuck, blah, blah. So they record the rest of it with another phone, bring it to the Stoughton Police Department. And what does the Stoughton Police Department do? They listen to it, right? It's a video, so they watch it. They listen to they can see the name on the screen of the phone. You can see the phone number, right? They call the guy, and they ask the guy if he called. Guy lies and says no, right? And they ask the guy if he threatened. Guy says no. The cops tell him, you can't be doing that, basically, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, cool. Then they proceed to do nothing. Nothing. Now, apparently this happened a couple weeks ago, right? So the person ended up getting an attorney to take a look at it to say, hey, the cops aren't doing anything. This is a serious threat. They've threatened my family who don't even live in the same area as me, okay? Lives in the same area as this other girl whose boyfriend is the one threatening. What the fuck's going on? Right? And so the lawyer goes over to Stoughton PD and goes, hey, what's going on? They try to downplay it with the lawyer. And the lawyer's like, yeah, no, like we're not doing that. Now, apparently this lawyer has a multitude of other clients, too, right now, that are dealing with similar issues with Stoughton PD not doing their fucking job. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you guys, you don't take death threats seriously? That's interesting. Like, that's quite fucking interesting that you don't take death threats seriously, Stoughton PD. Haven't you guys learned enough from doing the corrupt shit and not protecting Sandra Birchmore? As a matter of fact, that entire force should have been fucking fired, in my opinion, for what was allowed to happen to her. And then you're still, here we are years later, not doing your fucking jobs as officers. Not taking, first of all, they could have arrested that person right away and charged him with threats to kill and other things. They did nothing. They did nothing. I'm fucking stunned. I'm absolutely fucking stunned that they did nothing, Oh, yeah, you can't do that. You might be part of the conspiracy now, Grave. If you don't agree with Grant on one thing, he adds you to his vast conspiracy of born identity. It's the Grant identity now. He's going to bring down the entire government and all 75 people who are now apparently running ops. He told me I was running an op. Like, sure, bud. I guess I'm super secret squirrel spy now. Secret squirrel spy. Sure thing, bud. Sure thing. I can't. But that's what he does. He doesn't verify shit. He never has. He doesn't care to. That's the difference. This is what people don't realize. He doesn't care to verify anything. I can't. See, I didn't see it, so there was no point. Like, bro, there's no bulls. Just one in a china shop, honey. Just one in a china shop. The only bull you see here in a fucking china shop breaking everything around them. That's the only bull you're going to see. Sorry, not sorry. Bye, Leah. Screenshot names F-bombs. I don't know. Well, I don't know who was she trolled by is the question. You know what I mean? See, that's the difference. I don't really have to I don't give a fuck. That's the difference. I just don't, Melanie changed her sub rule to be on a week before you can speak in chat. I mean, I technically could do that. They won't tell us who it was that was arrested. I technically could do that, but I really don't see the point in that. You know, I don't see the point in changing it to like, oh, you have to be subscribed for a minute to do it, because they're going to subscribe and then unsubscribe. You know, it's a way to get subscribers, but I feel like it's a forced way. I'd rather just, you know, let people feel it out. If they like it, they'll subscribe. If they don't, then they can go. And then I don't have a bunch of subscribers that are there that are just had to hit the button to say something. You know what I mean? Even if it's just a troll, I'm just going to block you and boot you anyway. So it really doesn't matter to me, you know? Yeah, we don't know yet. You know? It's amazing to me, the lack of self-awareness some of these people have. I don't know about moral high ground. I can have my moments too where I'm just like, go fuck yourself. You know, I mean, I'm a human. Everybody's a human, right? But I have found that life is too short. Hold on, we buffer and I gotta fix it. To me, well, that's the problem that we have, right? We did, believe me, we did. Like, how do we know who to watch out for? How do we know who to get it? I mean, come on, she has the right. But again, that was when they were like, you need to call the. You have to remember, it's a federal offense because they packaged it like it was mail. It's a federal offense, even though it wasn't mail. They put fake labels on it and packaged it up as if it was a delivered mail parcel. So that becomes a federal offense, which is why the Attorney General's office, when you have to call, because I'm sure that they're dealing with part of it. You know, it's unfortunate. Well, that's the thing, right? He doesn't want you to talk about that, which is why I suspect you were sent that, because we've talked about it here, and that's not, you know, then people are going to go and look at the shit he did around that time, and that's not good for him. That's not good for him, you know? What did the southern beaver say to the fallen tree? Been nice gnawing you. I love dad jokes. I'm just saying. Some of those jokes can be quite funny. I don't know, but, you know, Ashley went to ask to see if she could see the footage, and the apartment people were not, they said the cops told them not to. Like, wait a second, hold on. They don't have a right to tell you not to. They can ask you not to nicely, but they don't have a right to tell you you can't show her that footage. That's not the way this works. Sorry, you know. Let's hope so. You know, let's hope so. I think it's just probably shitty timing, maybe. I don't know. Oh, thank you, Sasha. I'll check in 1 second. As a matter of fact, I have to get a phone charger because I'm pretty sure my phone died. So give me 1 second, guys. All right, now I can plug it in. Hold on. Get this going here. You know, I didn't even really pay attention because you guys only, you know, I only get a few per stream, maybe sometimes, you know, maybe. So I usually don't pay so much attention to the phone, but you just reminded me I probably should look, right? I don't blame you on that. If I had the capacity to move like out of state, I probably would, to be honest with you. I probably would. If I ever hit the lottery, I told my friend Tina, I'm going to buy an island. I'm going to find a fucking uninhabited island. I'm going to buy an island for us. I'm going to build houses on that island. I'm going to build a bridge, and I'm going to build a grocery store, and I'm going to build a whole town on it for myself and everybody I care about. I'm just going to build these condos or houses. I'm going to give them to people that I love for free. All they got to pay for is their own utilities. Everybody can just live in peace. You know, I'm going to make it somewhere in international waters and make it my own country. The country of Elise. It's going to be the country of Elise. where nobody has to deal with fucking sewer turtles and, you know, bulls in china shops. I agree with that. I'm tired of that too. Hey, Jack. Oh, you listening to me in the car? We doing conspiracy car rides here? Oh, shit. We're doing conspiracy car rides. You know? See, and that's what pisses me off, Ashley, because you're not the only one, right? It did not bomb. I didn't get to it yet. I got to it now, though. But there are other people who have been bullied into silence. And that's the part that really fucking burns me, dude, because I will not allow that. And when people come to me and they say, listen, I need you to speak for me. I need you to keep going because I can't speak for myself, right? Please, Elise, I need your voice. Who am I supposed to just be like, no, fuck yourself? Especially when it's more than one person? No, I refuse to do that. So if he wants to trash me, so fucking be it. At least these people know they have a voice, because if I go away, there is no voice. They don't have one, okay? That was taken away from them by a cult of nonsensical lunatics, the way he wields them, and by his threats and his blackmail. So I'm supposed to just abandon them? No, I will not do that. I will not do that. I will not. You know? I will fucking not. It's reflection and it's deflection too. It's deflecting, you know? Ooh, I want in on that. I'll go to the cosmos. I've always wanted to go to space. Let's do it. I want to do a spacewalk. Sounds like fun. Let's do that. I liked your dad joke. The trials are confusing. The timeline changed from trial to trial. It did. It did. Well, it did, but there's various reasons. And again, I can't explain those. I probably wouldn't have time on today's stream, but maybe tomorrow. I am going to do tomorrow's stream early because I have a bunch of stuff I got to do tomorrow. Like I have to rearrange this room. I got to put my desk together. I'm moving my like seasonal stuff, the summer stuff that's, it's getting cold out, into our unit, our storage unit. So I'm going to be running around tomorrow again, like it was today. And so I'm going to do my stream, right after I put my kiddo on the bus. So I'm thinking like 9:30 at the latest it's going to start in the morning, because I got way too much stuff I have to do tomorrow to do it later on in the day. My friend's daughter had an incurable rare disease called Hallster-Killian syndrome, life expectancy possible and possibly in the 40s. Imagine living with that as a single mother. Oh, believe me, I know what it's like. Like I said, my daughter's disease, less than 200 people on planet Earth have it. And it affects every person that has it differently. Some people have like lymph node issues. Some people, there's like so many different, and again, because there's such a small number of them, there's only technically two doctors that work together that study it in a lab. And they were like the know-all be-all of this disease that didn't exist when my daughter was first born. So she had been misdiagnosed a bunch of times before that. Children's Hospital was like a second home, for a long, long time. So about a year and a half ago, she's gone blind from her disease, but about a year and a half ago, she was also diagnosed with scleroderma, and it's progressive. So that sort of hardens the elasticity of your skin. It like stretches your skin to its limit, but it also hardens your like liver, your kidneys, and progressively life expectancy on that is 3 to 5 years. With just that, not including the stuff that she's already got going on, right? We did the swabs for bone marrow to see if any of us were a match for her. For bone marrow, none of us were a match. But first, she would have to have neck surgery, which they're still figuring out how that can even happen. Her neck is stuck like this in the downward position because of all the inflammation. Her neck has sort of fused with the spine, and so it's stuck sort of like this. And so she cannot be intubated with her head like this in order to do a bone marrow transplant. So it's very complicated. Not murder. Who? Do you guys ever see that? I think it was Cat Williams. Murdered who? I've done him for 2 fucking days. He wouldn't do that. It's a funny skit. But it's kids with rare diseases like that. It's hard for the kid, obviously, but also the parents, right? Because you don't know when's the last day? And I had this conversation with my daughter today on the phone. Ashley was with me. Like, you don't know, I was going into the Halloween store, as a matter of fact. You don't know when it's going to be the last conversation you have, when it's the last I love you. You just don't fucking know, right? There's just no way to tell. And it's hard for anybody to live with that. She lives every day not knowing like what's going to happen next. And so do I, and so does her dad, and so do her siblings. And it's hard on anyone with it or the family, right? To downplay that or act like people aren't allowed to share that. It's abusive if you share pictures of someone, by the way, who has a terminal illness, because that's what Turtle Boy said, so it must be true, right? It's abusive. You can't do that. You can't share a picture of your child. He says it's to win a Twitter war. No, it's not to win a Twitter war. You and your little minions attacked my child, then tried to say it was fake. Does it look fucking fake to you, sir? Okay? I think she doesn't think it's fucking fake, considering she lost all her hair and has gone blind and is in chronic pain. I mean, just saying. Like, ridiculous, nonsensical bullshit. If Grant asked me to take over the world, I might consider it. Pinky in the brain, right? Gonna take over the world. Him to take over the world. It's not a tough crowd. I love your dad jokes. I've been wished to die at the height of the call. Oh, I'm sure. I mean, he wishes all sorts of shit like that, Lauren from Hidden True Crime Story is identical to what the Suicide Squad does. Yeah, I'm going to have to check it out. It's not something I've heard of before. So it's definitely something I'm going to have to check out for sure. Oh, believe me, we're like, no, we need to know what the fuck's going on with that, We need to know. I mean, that's a fact. I don't know if they recognize the person or if they use, because you have to remember a lot of the police stations have the facial recognition if the person's ever been committed crime before, or they use license pictures. That might have been why. That might have been why. I once tried to fuck myself. Total fail. Go fuck yourself. They should. I mean, I agree. Do you know if we can contribute to the Okie? I do not know, but I will ask for you. I will get that answer for you. I will ask someone tonight and tell you tomorrow on tomorrow's live stream. It's a good question. I've never been asked that question before. Hello, Stones. Use a tool next time. Keep being a great woman. There are tools for that? Tools to go fuck yourself? I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's a big no-no, dude. It's federal offense. I love Sunken's jokes. He always has me laughing. Also, he's got good history stories, and I love those too. Because I'm a nerd, just saying. See, Nanya can be hip too. Everyone's hip. So technically, Elisa, but no one calls me that. It's too hard for people to remember. If I introduce myself as Elisa, then people forget it, and then I'm Alicia, Eliza, Alyssa. So it's always just been Elise for short, even though it's not shorter. If I can't find it at Harbor Freight, I don't want it. That's a fucking fact right there, my friend. I gotta love Harbor Freight. Always has what I'm looking for. Always. You need a tool, you go to Harbor Freight. Who the fuck needs a Walmart? You got a Harbor Freight, Right? Elisonia, that's what we're gonna call it. Tracy Island. Get the land in the middle of Massachusetts, keep growing the land in the community by purchasing properties, make nice with the feds, right? Make nicey nice with them, so they just leave us the fuck alone, and maybe one day we could say it's our own country. It's our own goddamn country. I would love to. I'm a little bit Portuguese myself. I would love that. There are so many places on my bucket list that I want to visit. Australia is one of them, Elise is just the easier version, and to be fair, what my dad used to call me. So that one sits very close to my heart. Funny story is my dad was the only one who used to call me that. Oh my God, Christina, that sounds so good. I'm not even gonna lie. That sounds like the perfect dinner right now. Sausage, rice, and beans. Oh, peppers and onions. I try to cut peppers and onions because they're inflammatory and they literally make my body hurt. But they're so good due to safety concerns. But what about your safety? Right? What about your safety? I don't give a fuck about their safety. They're the ones who committed the crime. That's the thing that gets me. Together we are better. That's right. Cult of Personality, great song, by the way. I do. No, yeah, I do. I mean, I do answer questions during live streams. But usually they're, pertaining to what we're talking about. I mean, I don't mind answering questions. I usually answer questions, no matter whenever people ask them. Even if we're not chatting about it. Some of them require longer answers, though, and I think the trial definitely requires like longer answers. It's not like shorter, answers for that. Thank you. My dad was supposed to have one, and then it's just right now it's limbo till he beats the new batch. I don't think he was crying. I mean, I don't think his face was on the screen. It would be his second bone marrow transplant. Yeah, so what can happen is the first bone marrow transplant your body might reject. And that did tell us about that risk, that your body could reject the first one, therefore you might have to get a second one. But even after the first bone marrow transplant, they said that basically my daughter wouldn't be able to leave the house basically for like 6 months because, well, she has no immune system already, but she would really, really have no immune system at that point. So that was another thing that I was like 6 months, like 6 months, you can't go anywhere, like public, it's just, there's too many germs, especially right after a bone marrow transplant. You don't want your body to reject it, What the janitor say when he's like popped out of the closet? Supplies. That's a good one. Yeah, facial recognition. A lot of the police stations have that now, especially the bigger ones. And hers, I would call a semi-bigger one. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they used to do it. I'm having a Halloween party at my house. I don't know what everybody else is doing. Other people are going to some Halloween party somewhere, but I'm having my own Halloween party. But I aim for the bottom of the barrel. I think it's the Brighton line. I might be wrong, but they're putting up license plate readers. I think, yeah, but at the same time, I feel like that's also, there's surveillance everywhere nowadays. You have to remember, when you go out of your house, there's cameras everywhere. Like, there's nothing you're doing that you're not being surveilled by the government on at this point. Your phone's surveilling you, okay? Your computers are surveilling you. I like my Walmart too. Yeah, usually it would get you hurt really anywhere, because it's disgusting and deplorable. And saying things like they're not allowed to post pictures of their child or that's somehow abusive. I mean, how ridiculous does that sound? Oh, hey, you can post your totally healthy children, but do not post your child who happens to have a terminal illness. Don't do that because that's abusive. There are entire blogs, entire Instagrams, entire vlogs on children and their struggles throughout their entire sickness. Like, what kind of fucking nonsense? Like, for people to actually believe that, right, and then repeat it goes to show you there is no agency with them. They're just parroting exactly what they heard right back out. And if you don't understand that when you're doing that, it's a problem, you've been brainwashed to do that. And people don't realize they're doing it until 6 months, a year, whatever it may be, right? And then they come back and go, I didn't even realize, Lise. And then I get the message, right? That's what happens every single fucking time. Every single time. It is what it is. Throw a ripping party. Antarctica. Oh, yeah, that's right. She did just go to Portugal. I forgot. Totally forgot. I totally forgot. I would love, that's on my bucket list. Bucket list. Well, we already knew that he was Polish. We did the hackening like a week or two ago. We did the hackening. Yeah, definitely did. We did all the receipts on that from forever ago. That would be so fun. Do it in an RV, just like cross country. That would be fun. That would be fun. Of course he is. That's what he does, man. That's what he does. Come on. The fact that the cultists think that coming here is somehow going to make me magically stop, it's amazing to me. That lack of self-awareness. Like, now you're just going to get blocked and banned, so I never have to see or hear of you ever again. So thank you for presenting yourselves to my channel. Therefore, you can just talk into the abyss. What they don't realize is When I block and ban them, they can still post comments, but nobody else can see them except them. Literally. No one. Not me, not anyone. Once I block and ban them from the channel, they can type comments in and hit send, and only they can see them. No one else can see them. So they're literally angry, writing angry emails into the abyss. It's fucking hilarious. Oh God, it's hilarious. You know, I mean, who says that? I mean, and not even who just says that, but who believes that? That's what I want to know. Who believes that? It's abusive now. Don't post pictures of your children, everyone. You can only do it if they are actually healthy children. That's okay, right? He's allowed to because he's posted pictures of his children. So that's allowed. That's okay. But if you have a sick child, don't do it. It's frowned upon by the turtle. You might want to cry about it, you know? It sure is for me to talk about and no one else. Do you know how many parents talk about their child's struggle, right? My daughter is not a minor. She's 20, right? So this has been a struggle her entire life. So the fact that he has anything to say about it is amazing to me. It's amazing to me. That just goes to show you who he is. And that's, you know, unfortunately for him, it's showing people who he is, and it's waking people up. Unfortunately for him, because people find it disgusting and deplorable. And they start asking themselves why they would want to follow someone like that. What if they had a terminally ill kid? And that's what he said. Is that how he feels about all terminally ill parents that share their struggles? Because let's be clear here, my show has nothing to do with my child. I share with my audience, some of which are people I know in real life, things about my life here and there throughout my streams. My streams are never about my child. Never have they been. Simply, we have conversations about real life things all the time. We have conversations about suicide, domestic violence, homelessness, addiction, all sorts of things. And once in a while, I tell you guys what I did for the day. Like I had to sit in the hospital, or I couldn't do a live stream, or whatever the case may be. Because unlike him, I have nothing to hide, and I'm an open book. Right? I am an open book. I have nothing to hide from anyone. So I don't mind sharing. See, that's the difference. He doesn't share because what's he going to share? He's going to share how many people he threatened or blackmailed last night? How many people he wiretapped last night? He surely isn't going to share that. How he threatened his ex-girlfriend, right? I don't think he's going to share that. So just saying, that would be so fun. 4 RVs joined together as one giant lane beast. I'm in. I am in on that. I'm in like fun. Let's do that. They don't like, dude, the cult's paging you. Go back that way. Go back that way. You're like the Jawas. But again, he likes to try to play victim is what he does, right? He'll play victim and wah, poor turtle boy. No, not poor anything. You're a fucking liar. You're a grifter. You're a fraud. And you're mad because people found out. Take responsibility. Nobody has to talk about it anymore. He'll never take responsibility for anything, ever. See, that's the difference between me and him, right? I was once an addict. Took responsibility for that. Right? Even though that was more to do with my trauma than really anything else. Unlike him, my life turned this way, all the way back around, right? From the depths of fucking despair and hell, back around. He keeps shooting himself in the foot over and over and over because he can never take any responsibility or accountability. He can never grow and learn. It's everyone else's fault except his. Everyone else is a scumbag and a liar and a grifter, and they owe a bill or they have an eviction. Like, let's be clear here. Okay? The man literally lived off his wife for many, many fucking years. Many, 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 many years. Many. All right? Who the fuck is he calling a grifter? Let's be real here. Let's be honest here. You've lied to your audience about being arrested in front of your kids. Then everybody felt pity for you and sent you money and bought your kids all these new gifts. That's called grifting, sir. Because you weren't arrested in front of your kids and you know you weren't. right? So come on. He wants to call everyone else out, and he had the audacity to say something. Someone sent me in a clip that he wants people to take responsibility and accountability, and they should. Everyone should, because they're scumbags. All these people are scumbags, and they should all take responsibility and accountability. What about you, bud? I don't think I see anybody else with over a dozen felonies. I think that's you. And you can sit there and say, well, they're not valid. I shouldn't, the government's coming after me. Well, why doesn't everybody else just say the same thing? What if that's their story? What if the government was going after them? You think you would give them that grace and say, well, the government was going after them, so those charges of theirs don't really matter? No, you'd be calling them names and ripping apart their families. And come on, man. Come the fuck on. Have a little self-awareness. Just a fucking smidge. Come on. A little. Just a, 6, 7. How many felonies you commit last night? 6, 7? 6, 7? Girl, listen, all right? My hands are arthritic, so believe me when I say I make so many typos, and I don't even care, especially when it's like on Twitter or something. I'm just like, send. I don't care. My hands hurt. The keyboard on my phone is wicked small. It hits the button above it, below it, next to it. I'm like, I don't fucking care. I don't care. I don't care. Well, you know. That's true. Oh, God. Are they doing that? We can't talk about. You heard me say 6, 7. Can I do a whole dance? Whole dance I need to see. All right? A whole dance. Breaking it down these days. Well, it just goes to show, because we don't have them bombing our chats usually, right? We've talked about this a million times. That just goes to 6, 7. Speech to text. Neither do I, right? Because I'm not a judgmental asshole, right? It's who you are right now that matters to me, not some stupid mistake you made 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 8 years ago. I don't give a shit about any of that. I don't care about any of that. Everyone makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Everybody's fucking human. That's life, right? You live, you learn, you move on. Yeah, that's his name. That's Turtle Douche's name, but with an A. Sometimes with people like TV, his past is his future. Well, that's a given, I think, at that point. It's the way that he's done things for so long. He doesn't know how to. He can't keep the lies straight anymore. Let him blow every single last fucking one of them, dude. I haven't seen half of what he said. My mods just kick it out, so I don't really fucking care. He just repeats the same thing over and over anyway. Imagine, my husband would love to be my secretary. If I could pay him well and he didn't have to go to work at his job, I'm sure he would love to be my secretary. I don't know about a low wage. I would pay him handsomely if I could. I would. We got a new block word? Okay, do it. Yeah, kid hates when you say that. Listen, if they're gonna harass us with their little social media stuff, then we're gonna get them too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, don't watch. That's my advice. Don't fucking watch. Expect to be disappointed or expect to be disgusted. One or the other. Expect a lot of lies, gaslighting, twisting, and making up his own narrative. And I love you for that. And I love you. Yeah, he's got a full-time job himself, over full-time. So yeah, he couldn't be my secretary. Today's actually his day off, so he's home today. Help me, thank God. Right? She had to 6, 7. It's a whole thing. It's a whole internet thing. Oh, God. That is pretty desperate on Spotify. Like, what in the actual fuck? He's got a game. in your charge of feeling abuse. Wait, what? Did I see this? Or judge somebody by their past or they don't live there anymore. Well, I always tell people, whatever is in your past, like there's nothing there for you anymore, right? You're looking forward. So whatever is back there, don't bother looking back. Look this way, right? It doesn't matter what's back there, right? Those are past mistakes. There's nothing you can do to change them. There's nothing you can do to make them better. Be a better person from today forward, right? Be better today than you were yesterday, like my grandmother used to say. Be a better person today than you were yesterday, or at least try, right? We're going to fail once in a while because we're fucking human. That's life, right? That's life. That's what it is. No one's perfect. But if you think that going around life picking apart everyone else's lives is somehow going to make you a better person, it isn't to make you a worse, more hateful, angry little troll, just like he is, you know? I mean, that's the other thing. Meredith paid thousands of dollars to take her past offline. Thousands. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Yeah, he's been dropping views and apparently he's obsessed with it. That is what I am being told, that he is constantly talking about the numbers, you know? Like, okay, bub. Okay, you have fun with that. You know, nerd Jews, I can't talk today. New Jersey's not fucking with it, okay? They're not. They're not, and he did cry in jail. They are not fucking with him. They are done with his bullshit. I don't know why he continues on doing what he's doing because New Jersey isn't playing with him. They're just not. It's not Massachusetts, okay? Hold on. Hold on a second. Let me just look to something. Hold on. Hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on 1 second. Who timed out my kid? One of my mobs timed out my kid. Hold on.
Put me on timeout. It's bullshit.
She said this is. You guys can hear her. She says this is bullshit. I gotta try to untime out my kid. Hold on. Please hold, guys. One of my mods timed out my child. Probably because you guys hadn't seen her name before, but she was, that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'll figure it out. I didn't see it over here, so it's okay. I do believe. Oh, you know what? I don't blame you. It's unfortunate. A lot of people have woken up to what the nonsense is. Spotify. That's so ridiculous. I had to tell my kid, I'm like, I'm sorry, baby. We got a lot of trolls. And since she doesn't usually pop into chat, most people, don't, know her name. So they're like, new name, probably a troll, right? Like, no, I don't want to change the timeout to 10 seconds because normally we only time out trolls. It's rare that we accidentally time out. So, oh shit, I forgot that there was someone else who was timed out that I forgot to undo yesterday. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm like on top of most things, but I had a long day and I totally forgot to do it, and I will. So that's the difference, right? He doesn't have a likeness. He has no copyright to it. He has no. You can't be like, oh, nobody can sell a turtle. Okay, that's ridiculous, right? She sold 3 or 4 shirts with a turtle on it. She donated $300 to the Karen Reed Defense Fund. Was trying to help him. Was trying to be a good. Listen, she didn't have to offer to give him a fucking dime. Didn't have to give him a fucking dime. A dime. Not a single dime. She didn't have to offer to do anything. She could have made those shirts, all of them, for Free Karen Reed, Turtle Boy. She could have made whatever the fuck she wanted, sold them, and kept every single penny if that's what she wanted to do. Because there is no copyright to it. Nobody owns it. Nobody owns Free Karen Reed. Nobody owns, any of it. Just like Aiden sold hundreds of thousands of dollars probably in merch sales. Okay? I would guess. He didn't donate a single penny of that to Karen Reed. Did he? No, he went on an entire rant about why he's not going to, why he shouldn't have to, and why nobody should question him about that. Nobody remembers that rant? I remember that rant. Okay? So she didn't have to donate a fucking single penny. She was doing it out of the kindness of her fucking heart. Out of the kindness of her heart. So this whole, it was his likeness. No, that's his narrative. That's the thing that he feeds other people so that they say, oh, she's bad. It was his likeness. He doesn't have a fucking likeness. He named himself after a statue in Worcester Center. So really, it's that likeness. It's the statue's fucking likeness. She literally, what do you mean? She literally has a receipt of her, which he accidentally showed, of her giving money to the Karen Reed Defense Fund long before he said a fucking word to her about anything. Well, see, that's the difference. See, that's the difference. It wasn't just asking someone to profiting off their, that's a difference, right? Well, I mean, was she given the chance to? She was never given the chance to donate it. So, I mean, to be fair, Mike from Young Jerks waited weeks before he ever put the first amount into Karen Reed's fund. Weeks. He was doing streams almost every night. It was whatever percentage, and he waited weeks. So in the meantime, if somebody with 2 weeks in said, hey, Mike from Young Jerks, you didn't donate anything. You said you were taking 10% and it was going to go to the Karen Reed Defense Fund. You haven't donated a goddamn thing. And then Mike was like, yeah, but I was waiting until it was a bigger amount. And they were like, no, you're just a fucking liar and you're a scammer and trying to steal the money. And Mike had every intention of doing it, right? But someone, thought it took too long or looked and said, oh, I don't see anything. Does that make Mike a scammer magically? No, obviously not. Mike was doing it the way he wanted to do it, which is his prerogative, which was to wait weeks until it was a larger amount and dump it. But if anybody, including Aiden, had called him out in the meantime, they would have done the exact same thing to him. They would have called him a scammer. They would have said he was a liar. They would have said he only donated it afterwards because he was fucking called out on it. It's the same bullshit over and over. And by the way, you guys were not shown all the text messages, so let's make that abundantly clear. It wasn't just asking someone to stop profiting off their likeness. Never mind the fact she offered him like $24. She sold 3 fucking shirts. Like, he didn't get his 27 cents when he thought he should. That's the bottom line. He got petty. He got angry. And he flipped out. That's who he is, okay? It had nothing to do with the money. It had to do with the messages after that, the threats. The things that came after that he didn't show you. Had nothing to do with the money that she offered him after he started whining like a baby back bitch. Like, come on. You have to know the whole story. But that's the problem, right? Why at this point? Why is anybody taking him at his fucking word when he's a liar? He's a liar. He's a liar. He's a fucking liar. That's exactly what happened. You know, she didn't bow down right away and he didn't like it. You know, he thinks it should be done on his time when if you didn't do it in the first 3 days or the first week or the first 2 shirts, then you're a scammer and you had no intention of doing it. And I'm going to call you out. That's not the way shit works. It doesn't work on Aiden's time or when he thinks someone should do something. Apply that same thing to anyone else, including the young jerks. Apply that to Mike. You think that would be fair? No. Mike chose to do it the way he wanted to do it. So if he chose to wait a couple weeks until it was a bigger amount to dump it, he had every right to fucking do that. Who gets to decide how long it is before you do it? Is there like a time limit that I'm unaware of? This is my point, you know? You're totally welcome. That's the point, right? Is taking him at his word is to say that's the shit that pisses me off, because that's the shit that we're just feeding into, right? Is the nonsense, is the nonsensical nonsense, you know? Make Donna check. Please have Donna check to make sure we can Zoom and I will check with her and see what it's going to be. Yeah, Aiden said he didn't donate shit. He doesn't have to. So why isn't anybody getting on his back for selling free Karen Reed merch the entire for 2 trials and before, and not giving a penny and saying he's not going to give a penny because he doesn't have to? Why doesn't anybody ask him why? Instead of going after someone that sold 3 fucking shirts and never had the opportunity to, right? Come on. See, that's not okay either. They don't own it. They don't have a right to, just them and only them, nobody else. That's not the way shit works. Then make a fucking copyright, dude. I don't know what to tell you. I know you are. And it's not that I'm yelling at you. I'm yelling at the situation because it pisses me off, right? Because I've seen it happen over and over and over, right? Over and over and fucking over again to people. And he spins this narrative where he wants everyone to take him at his word and believe him. And he leaves out all the messages he doesn't want you guys to see to make the other person look. I've watched him do this a million times because I get the originals. I get the whole thread, not just the ones he wants to show and the ones that he takes out that he doesn't want to show of his responses, because those make him look bad, right? The bottom line is he continued on, and there are shit that he did that people don't know about, right? It's not just the shit he does publicly. It's the shit that he doesn't tell you guys about. I mean, it would have been. I mean, I get it's Monday morning quarterbacking, but what the fuck is he doing going after someone who made 3 shirts with a turtle on it? I'll make fucking 10 shirts with a turtle on it right now. What? So I have a cup right now that says Sippin' Turtle Tears. Does he think he gets 27 cents from my cup too? Because it's got a turtle on it? That's not the way shit works, bro. Get a fucking copyright, then cry about it. Like, until then, go fuck yourself. We're talking about people who are hand making shirts, dude. They're making like maybe $8 after you take out cost. Okay? They got to pay for the shirt. They got to pay for the vinyl. Do you know how long it takes to just make one shirt, or how expensive the vinyl is? Like, after you take out the cost of paying for all of that and selling it, you probably make about $8 or less, depending on what you're selling it for. If you're selling it for, 25 or $26, you're probably making less. You're not making a lot of money. So 3 shirts would have got him like $9. 4 shirts would have got him $12. If that. Like, that's what he's so mad. You know what I mean? Come on. She didn't have to offer to give him a fucking penny. She could have sold him, told him to go fuck himself. I'm not going to help you with shit. I'm going to sell these shirts because I can. Who the fuck are you? You know? A turtle tattoo. Oh, fuck no. It's not you. You know it's not you. It's not you. I'm even like mad at. It's like the situation. You know what I mean? You know, you get pissed at a situation because you know more than everyone else does, and you're just like, no, that's not what happened, and no, that's not it. You know, it's not you. It's it as a whole. You know, and it pisses me off more, I think, because she's not the only person who's done this ridiculous, nonsensical shit to. Literally, you know. Flush like Amber Heard. Has he paid Google? Probably not. Who fucking knows any of the people he has put on his... No, yeah, that's another thing. You're right. He puts Google on. Is he paying a portion of Google's likeness? I doubt it. So it's like, don't be a fucking hypocrite unless you're going to apply that same exact shit to yourself, my dude. Like, really? You know? It just doesn't make sense. How much money do you think they really make a month? Who? Who's they? They who? Well, that's the other thing is him at his word is basically not getting any of the story. What you're getting is a version that is most favorable to him and least favorable to the person he's going after, with lies and narrative twisted into it to make that person look bad. He doesn't know how to tell the truth. He just doesn't. It's unfortunate, you know? No, he straight up said he's not going to. Yeah, he straight up said no. Because people kept asking him. Like, you're asking other people if that's the problem. Is he was asking other people like, oh, you're making keychains, you're making shirts, you're donating some of that to Karen Reed, right? You're donating. So that was the problem, right? So other people were saying, well, what are you donating? You're making all this free Karen Reed. What are you donating, Aiden? And he fucking went out on that rant and was like, I'm not donating a single thing and I'm not going to and I don't have to, blah, 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 blah. Like that was that whole thing. So it's like he wants to hold everybody else to a different standard than himself. That's not the way it fucking works. It's not the way it works. Yeah, he had said he was going to donate previously, but he never fucking did. You know? Oh, yeah, his defense fund. You know, he needs everybody else to pay that while he consistently keeps committing crimes. Everyone else should pay for that. For his actions, everyone else should pay for it. Make that make sense, you know? Well, that's the other thing. There's no redeeming qualities there. Like, say you did something wrong, dude. Be like, I'm sorry, I made a bad choice, and move on. You can't even do that. Can't even fucking do that. Yeah, venting. Thank you, Wallflower. That's exactly what I meant. Thank you very much. You know? Exactly. Oh no, he didn't give any proceeds to Karen for anything at all. You know? At all. I know a person who had cancer and a channel mod began getting a fundraiser and then they kept it. Oh, that's shitty. Like, that's shitty. Usually if I would help anybody, you would put their name on it. You know what I mean? Put their name and their banking account information if you're doing it for someone else. Like, put their shit on it so that it goes straight to them. You're just the one like running the page and you know, whatever. Like, that's how it should be done every time. Or you should be giving the person that you're making one for the login information so they can look at it themselves, you know? He's bragging about his child support being $1,500 a month. That's just sad, you know? That's sad. Sorry, clip this morning implied Karen wasn't great. Oh yeah, he's gonna keep implying all sorts of shit about everyone else. Everyone else but himself, of course, you know? It's projection. It's always is with him. I have never seen someone project so much in my entire life. I'm sorry. I was definitely looking to I was looking to say thank you for the donations, and then my child called me and was like, why was I timed out? And yeah, so hold on. I got rid of him. Yeah, I mean, what? Like, what? But that, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? The shit that these people say. Google, he puts Google on the shirts and on his shirts, you know? Well, that's the thing. You don't want it. Like, he can't, his likeness isn't, it's a turtle, dude. Like, he'd have to copyright the exact logo that he wanted copyrighted if that's the case. Otherwise, you're going to complain about every single person that wants to put a turtle on something. Come on. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. And never mind the fact that he doesn't apply that same thing to himself. You know what I'm saying? Come on. If he wanted to go after people for shirts, yes, he would have to put a copyright on it. Absolutely he would. Absolutely he would. If you want to go after someone for it, you have to. Otherwise, you can, you know, scream and yell all you want about it, but there's nothing legally you can do about it until you fucking copyright it, you know? Yeah, I saw it. I got rid of it. It's just ridiculous, you know? Well, that's what, you know what I mean? It's the same shit. But that's what he does. He deals in rumors. He deals in rumors, right? Like, that's what he does. Well, at least in the state of Massachusetts, unless you're not going after anybody unless you have it copyrighted. No, I blocked and banned them. Oh, untime them out? I have no idea. I can unblock and ban them, but I have to go into like YouTube settings and do this whole rigmarole. I don't know how you untime them. I don't know. I have no idea. Well, I'm not going to say that live on air, girl. I asked her to change it. I was like, dude, you can't come in here with your real name unless you want to be doxxed. What the hell's wrong with you anyway? Like, Melanie Little checks their URL and legal. Yeah, I mean, hey, you can. What is she talking about, bro? I didn't time out. Not timed out, bro. I don't see any timing out. I can see. Okay, hold on. Ash. Hold on. Jesse, I'm going to send you this name. What is our timeout set at right now? No, it's not always you think these YouTube platforms make good money. I get to get a check the 21st of every month. Well, the check is once a month from YouTube, and it really depends on how big your platform is. Like, obviously, the bigger your platform, the more money you're going to get. But I mean, if you're monetized, couple hundred. I mean, it could go from a couple hundred at the stage I'm at. It's not really much more. You know, that also depends on super chat, super stickers, and all that stuff, and YouTube takes a cut, and Apple takes a cut. So I think they are managing mods, I'm pretty sure. That's okay. She'll come back after the timeout's done, I guess. I think she is a manager. I think she is. They all are. I mean, they all are. They all are great mods. All right, let me get into these damn donations before I forget again, because I keep getting distracted by my child. Who's amazing, by the way. She's amazing, and she's strong, and I love her. No, they don't. Oh, man. No, you don't need a certain amount of people watching to get any type of money. It really goes by like ads, really. Like most of the money comes from like, you know, the little ads that they insert into whatever you're watching. It's like how many skippable ads, how many non-skippable ads, how many people have like premium YouTube that watch or don't watch the ads. If you watch them, you get more money if people watch them versus not watching them. And who the fuck wants to watch ads? No one. I don't want to watch ads. You know what I mean? So yes, I mean it's not really you because you're asking about like a bunch of different things. So you could make money off of the memberships, off of the super chat and super stickers, and then they do like the ads. It's not really so the per views is more like how many people watched or didn't watch ads per 1,000 views is what it is. Yeah, if you watch the ads, it's a little better than skipping them. But if you skip them, the person still gets paid, but it's like cents. I think it's like a 0.1 cent per however many. It's like very little, you know? I know that's true if they banned advertising. So here, hold on, let me see. I mean, those are good questions, guys. I mean, especially if you ever wanted to start a YouTube channel. I don't feel like I hear a lot of creators talk about that, probably because they're too embarrassed to tell people like, oh, how much do they make? How much do they not make? I don't make shit, so I don't care. So I'll happily tell you guys. Let's see. I'm going to my studio here. I can tell you. So let's see. Analytics. My analytics. All right. So my estimated revenue for October at the moment is $617.89, which is decent for this month. Probably, I think it was half as much last month, but I had a lot of breaks last month. And I've gained a bunch of subscribers this month and watch hours. But so in that, right, is it'll tell you, like, for instance, so we're in October. It'll say watch page ads, supers, and gifts. So that's like super chats. So there's $251.95 in like super chats and super stickers. Okay. Memberships. So there's however many members, and that adds up to $93.95. And then the shorts, I made a whopping $2.11 on shorts. I just started adding shorts. So yeah, they take 30 to 40%. And then on top of that, if you do it from like an Apple device, Apple takes a cut, which I didn't freaking know. That's crazy to me. So, I mean, every month, again, it's different, but it'll do shorts and then, so it's watch page. The ads themselves are like, it goes by like skippable ads, non-skippable ads, bumper ads. It's like a whole rigmarole of nonsensical crap, Yeah, they take a large cut of it. That's why most creators choose to also have, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. Because yes, where PayPal's still going to take a cut of that, right? It's PayPal. And when you transfer it to your account, they're going to take a cut too. But like Venmo, Cash App, like you're getting the full amount on Venmo or Cash App. So you don't have to worry about 30% of that or more going to YouTube. That's why people prefer it that way. But some people prefer to do a super chat or a super sticker. Like some people like to show their support that way, So where they do take their cut, it's really about preference, about what the people who are supporting the channel want to do, I love you. I hope you feel better. Big hugs. Big hugs. No, you need to get some good rest and crash out and put that blanket over you and sweat that sickness out, girl. Sweat it out. Yeah, I don't know, girl. Listen, I don't know. I checked too and I didn't see it. I mean, yeah, if you're monetized, you'd still get paid, but again, it wouldn't be a lot. I think when I started off, it was, I don't even know. I think it was like $2 or whatever per video. It wasn't a lot. You know what I mean? Like it's, in order to make decent money, you have to have decent views essentially, because those are going to be people who are watching your ads, right? But you have to have so many watch hours before you can even get monetized on YouTube. So you won't earn anything off any ads until you're monetized. So basically you have to be live streaming for a little bit before you can even get monetized at all and make anything at all. So people starting off are not making anything until they make the amount of watch hours on their videos that allows them to apply for the monetization to begin with. Otherwise you're not making anything at all. That's the hard part. Yeah, they would, but it would be exactly like a dime if it was only 10 people watching. But it's really about like, okay, 10 people were watching. Then your video goes up and maybe 300 people more watched, right? They clicked on it, they watched, they skipped an ad, whatever. You know what I mean? So yes, but you also have to be monetized, which means you have to stream for a while before you can even apply to be monetized. You have to have like 400 watch hours or something ridiculous before you can even apply for the monetization from YouTube. Believe me, it was horrible having to wait all that time to get all those watch hours before you could apply to even make anything at all from YouTube. But that's a good question. That's a good question, especially for people who might want to start a YouTube channel, Jackie. That's a good question. Girl, I know. I don't see anything, so I can't do shit from my end at the moment. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Definitely feel better. Casey, hey, Rain. I can't undo them. It doesn't let me undo them. It lets me look at what they like bopped, like the comment. I usually don't, but yeah, so you got to start. So it's better to build a following before you start live streaming so that when you start live streaming, like you have that following that's going to come watch you, if that makes sense. Because otherwise, yeah, you're starting from scratch and it takes a while to even be able to do. But you can still take Venmo and Cash App right away. You just won't make anything off off your videos until you can have a certain amount of watch hours. Yeah, it is a huge process and kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest. The whole thing's a pain in the fucking ass. Like, there are certain things like swearing will limit your ads. So, and I'm a swearer, so you can imagine how many of my videos have like limited ads on them, which means I'm making much less money on them because I swear. You know, that could happen too. I guess she's gonna have to ride out the timeout. That's all she's gonna have. She's gonna have to ride out the freaking timeout. That's all we can do at this point. Ride it out, kiddo. Ride it out. Ride it out. She said she's still in the timeout corner facing the wall. She said, yeah, she said that. I mean, you can do it by making like short little videos and putting them on Facebook or on X. And then by the time you're ready, you know, gain your viewership there. And then by the time you're ready to make a YouTube channel, or you already make a YouTube channel and you say, hey guys, I'm ready to start streaming. Want to join my live streams, right? So you make pre-made videos first, put little clips out there, gain a following, and then start doing, you know what, I'm going to start doing some live streaming. And then you work it from there. Your best bet is to start streaming with someone else who already is streaming, right? Because then their viewers will sort of hop onto you and check you out and word of mouth. And that's sort of the best way to do it if you're going to start a channel and not have 10 people watching you right away. But that's not always possible because most people, unlike me, but most people who run a channel don't want to share their viewers, right? And they do not want to have anybody on that has less viewers than them or a lot less viewers. Unless you have more viewers, you're not beneficial to them or the same amount. They don't want to stream with you. I'll stream with anybody. I don't give a shit if they have 1 viewer or 1 million viewers. It does not matter to me. Creators should be helping each other out, not kicking each other, but it is what it is. You know, there are just some shitty people out there. You can't see her, I guess, anyway, so she's still in timeout, so she'll pop in when she's out of timeout. Big deal. It's not like she hasn't got a timeout or 2 in life. She's so funny. I'm timeout facing in the corner facing the wall, she said. Oh my God, let me read these donations because if I don't, I will literally never freaking remember here. Hold on. Oh. Okay. Wait, I'm just seeing now. They say wait, there's no option to ship to Canada on my store. I'll have to fix that. If you're watching, I got your email. I will have to fix that and see if that's possible because it should be able to ship in Canada too. So I will definitely take a look at that for sure. All right, let me look and see what we have if we have. I know we have 1 at least. So while I'm doing that, if anybody else would like to donate to the channel and help support us as we do on our independent voice, you can do so one of a bunch of different ways. We have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Revolut, Chime. We have a link in chat you can click on, credit or debit there. And we have an Amazon wish list, of course. So while I'm checking this out, see, I love that. See, that definitely helps. You know, funny enough, Jessie is so amazing that she actually watches me on multiple devices just to help out because she's a fucking rock star like that. Because she's a goddamn rock star like that, you know? Yeah, it helps if you don't skip them, but there are skippable ads that they pay per like so many cents. I think it's like a cent per person or whatever it is, per 1,000 views or whatever it is. The way they do it is like per 1,000 views. It makes no sense to me, but hey, whatever. All right, let's see. We have... Okay. We have 1 here. I don't want to read the person's name because it's their real name, of course, but it's $25 and it just has a little money sign on it. Thank you very much. Excuse me. And then we have 1 here from Steph. Thank you, Steph. Says keep speaking the truth. It's $25. Thank you, Steph. All right, let's see what we get over here. Check the other ones here. The premium people, it gives you like a little tiny bit more, I think, like because they have premium. Thank you, Claire. You know, the trolls came in. They said my hair is awful and my eyeshadow is stupid and childish. Yeah, like their brains. Grave sends $100 and says, Halloween shit or whatever. Thank you, Grave. You're amazing as usual. You don't have to do that. But I love you just the same. Thank you. Let me check PayPal. There's a one here. It's a $10 donation from Barb. Thank you, Barb. It says, have coffee on me. Thank you very much. And I don't see anything else. That's it. I definitely don't want to forget them, that's for sure. All right. Yeah, there's something about like premium. It shows me like it doesn't tell me how, but it says like a little premium thing. It says like something YouTube premium. And then it'll say like, $5 total. So I have no idea what it is about premium that I'm actually making on it. It just, that's all it says. So it doesn't really give us an explanation about the premium stuff. But yeah, because you don't see ads on premium. So maybe that's why. I don't know. Thank you, Rain. Yes, we miss you. I know. Listen, I usually don't add mascara because I usually put my magnetic lashes on. But I was so freaking tired after a long day. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not doing my eyelashes right now. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. That's why I don't usually use mascara, because usually I just pop my eyelashes on. Otherwise, I would. Otherwise, I do usually put mascara on if I don't use the eyelashes. But I was gonna, and then I decided against it. Only reason why I did. But thank you. I get it. It would have looked better with that, or if I just popped the eyelashes on. But I said, you know what? F it. I'm too tired. I'm too freaking tired. God damn it. I'm not doing it. But thank you. Appreciate you. I was doing a purple and a teal today, and I was like, you know what? I feel I'm wearing a blue shirt underneath this one, a blue sort of like tank top. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Blue and purples today, To me, I love color. I love color. I love to do different colors, a pop of color. One day I did an entire rainbow, red, orange, green, blue, yellow, purple. We did the whole rainbow colors. Like, I love to do colors and bold. And I mean, I don't care if the troll thinks it looks childish. I get so many compliments on it from men, women, privately, publicly. So he really thinks that I care what the sewer trolls think. They have lost their marbles. Listen, animals, stop eating so much. Nah, that's what they do. Believe me, my daughter buys a lot of dog food for her service animals. They eat a lot. They are expensive. They're expensive dogs. Expensive. Several videos, many more views. You really, I don't know how you got that many views. That's cray to me. Like, I can't even, like 4.2, like, what? Yeah, listen, Glamnetic. It's my magnetic lash. It's my favorite. I will not do any other lash. I can't do glue. I'd probably have my finger stuck to my eyeball. I can't do it. So I do the magnetic eyeliner, and it's so much easier. So much easier, So much. I love that stuff. Thank you so much. We are. Oh my God, it's over 2 hours already. I can't believe that. Look at that, time flies when you're having fucking fun. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, Jessie's amazing like that. She plays me on multiple devices because she's awesome. I never thought of that before until she did it. And I was like, that's fucking brilliant. I never thought of that. Never freaking thought of that. It's amazing. I can't believe it's already been 2 hours. 2 hours and 26 minutes. What time is it? 6:30? Damn, I'm hungry too. I did not eat lunch today. Me and Ashley completely forgot to eat lunch, skipped lunch, running around like, chickens with our head cut off, and I forgot to eat lunch. So I am definitely going to eat a big dinner tonight. I am freaking starving. See? She's crazy. She's crazy, but in that way that I love, because I love her. Claire sends 100 and says, Happy Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. Halloween's my favorite holiday, but me and Claire have to have dinner soon because we're due for a dinner date. We are due. We are freaking due for a dinner date. Yeah, is it a YouTube channel, Ash, or is it TikTok? Remind me, please. See? She's nuts. I love her. I love her. I love her so much. Ash, what's your YouTube or your TikTok or whatever the fuck it is? You know what my husband calls it? He calls it Snapagram because he doesn't use social media like that, so he calls it Snapagram. Insta Twitter and Snapagram is what he calls it. Insta Twitter and Snapagram. Because he doesn't do social media, so he's just like Insta Twitter and Snapagram. That is what we're here for. Yeah, snappygrams. You know what I'm saying? Snappygrams. Yeah, Snapagram and Insta Twitter. Listen, you think I can't control myself with some of the things that fly out of my mouth? Neither can he. Neither can he. His just come right off the cuff. He cannot be responsible for sometimes. I'm telling you. The one-liners he comes up with sometimes. I'm like, where did you pull that out of? I think I'm bad sometimes. This was years ago, probably when I was my daughter's age, 20, right? And it was something, I forget what I was arguing with a friend about something. And Ashley, where the hell are you, goddammit? I bet you can hear me. If you can hear me, come back to the screen and type in the freaking thing, your link. I can't remember what I was arguing with a friend about. All right. We do. It's called Discord. We have a Discord. So we have like a pet section and all different cases and all sorts of stuff. Budsy. Dusty. Dusty. Christina, I can't stand you right now. I can't stand you right now. Oh my God. I'm like reading that. I'm like, oh, I know what the fuck she's talking about. Hold on a second. I can't stand you. Yeah, but you have to tell them what it's called, silly girl. They don't know what it's called. Tell them the name of your YouTube. I can't stand you. So funny. I was pissed at my friend. I can't remember why, right? And I think I ran out of things to call her. Like I was like, you're a fucking asshole. You're a dickhead. You're blah, 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 whatever. And we were like name calling back and forth. You're an asshole. You're a dickhead. You're this, you're that, whatever. And I ran out of things to say. I like ran out. I was like, I don't know, shit. God damn it. I was like, you're a putt knocker. She just turned around and was like, what the fuck is a putt knocker? And I was like, I don't fucking know, but that's what you are right now. Like, she just was like, she was like, what does that mean? And I was like, I don't know what it means, but you are that right now. You are just, my nerves this much, you fucking putt knocker. I was just so pissed off. It just, yeah, a knocker of putts. Exactly. I don't know. I don't golf, so golf lingo certainly was not in my vocabulary when I was 20. Golf was not even a thought on my mind, but I mean, she was a knocker of putts that day. That's just what came to my brain, and that's what came flying out of my mouth. I was just, you're fucking putt knocker. She's like, what the fuck is a putt knocker? I'm like, you, ma'am, you right now. That's what you are. To be fair, my child also is a sarcastic asshole like me, and some of the shit she says, she can't be responsible for either. But where do you think she gets it from? This guy and that guy. These motherfuckers. These. I can't stop my fault, you guys. Okay, there it is. I invented a word name so terrifying that one brother is scared for life, and I'm banned from saying it in perpetuity. Listen, my family must be a lot like yours. We cannot be responsible. Riley! Hold on. I can't, right? D's nuts. I was actually watching a video, I don't know, my husband put it on, but it was like people walking up to people in Target and saying names like Jack, Mehuff, like, right? And these asking them to page people, and these poor pricks are going, the people who work there are going to the pager and it's like, what's their name? Only one person caught on mid saying it. Only one guy. He was probably the oldest guy too, and he was like, his face was just like, how dare you? And the guy's acting like that's his real name. He's just like, like, it was a hilarious video. My husband had it on yesterday, and I was like, what are you watching? And the people are just paging people. They're saying it once, saying it twice, not realizing that they're saying it all. And it was pretty fucking funny. It was pretty fucking funny. I'm just saying, just fucking saying. Oh man. All right, so you saw that one? Wasn't just me? All right, see? Maybe it was on. You guys know what Scoops is? Anybody know what Scoops is? Okay, so it's like TikTok, except it doesn't ban like violence or gore or so it's a little more like gore and violence basically, but they'll have regular stuff on Scoops of stuff that you wouldn't find on TikTok, and it's funny. Some of them are funny as hell. Funny as hell. There you go, Ash. Carol just subscribed. Right? Those are my people too. I was like, this is hilarious. What are we watching? This is too fucking funny for me. I can't. My kid says she's going to starve if she's in timeout any longer. She said, I think I'm here forever. You're not there forever. We probably just have it set for like 30 minutes or something like that. It's probably set like the highest amount ever. And usually after people are timed out, I block and ban. So, but I didn't see your name. So I don't know, kid. I don't know. Maybe you're just doing something wrong there, kiddo. I don't know. Those are my people. They really are. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I'm a good time. You go out in public with me. If I'm, being a little silly, all sorts of crazy things can happen. We dance behind people. We ride in carriages. We sing songs. We let my mother run the carriage. She's pulling it backwards and almost walks into a pole one time. I mean, listen, we're silly. All right. Because why? Because life can't always be serious. Life cannot always be for cereal. It has to be funny once in a while. You have to have fun with it. Right? Exactly. Saying hi is against the law. It's against the Geneva Convention. You meet followers in the store. I do. I do. I do. People just tap me on the shoulder and they're like, I was just watching you. Good for you. Keep going. And I'm like, hey, like, it's so random though. Most of the time, there's people all the time that'll be like, the first thing they say to me is, I know that voice. I'm like, I don't think so. Like, no, I know that voice. Are you on YouTube? And I'm like, yeah, that's me. Yep. Magically suspicious. Or magically malicious. No, every person I have ever actually come across has been amazingly kind and awesome and has been like, I watch you all the time. Like, it's nice. It's nice to meet you guys out in public when I'm out in public and people just walk up to me. It's a cool thing. That's definitely not something I was ever prepared for in real life. I think the first time it ever happened to me, I was kind of like stunned. I just like didn't really know what to do. I was like, talking to somebody behind me? Like, what is happening right now? Like, what, me? Like, me? You're talking to me? Like, I had it just right over my head. No, listen, they need to say where that baby is. All right. That piece of human garbage. It's like, why didn't a judge already have that guy locked up? His other child was blinded by him, can't walk. Right? As a baby, I think as an infant even, okay? Why, just why, wasn't he already locked up? He wouldn't have been able to unalive that baby, Emmanuel, right? Like, he pled guilty today. And still no remains of the child. Like, that baby needs to be brought back to the family that the rest of his family that, I'm sure loves and cares about him. And no, he pled no. He remember he was like pointing around in some weird place, and we thought, oh, he's bringing them to the remains, right? Well, no, they didn't find remains, so they think that was kind of like a way to like drag it out longer, Ooh, a picture. I love pictures. What we got? Whatever. My kid said, whatever fruits your loops. See. I love you. I love you so much. She's got me on like 4 screens. It's all me. It's so funny. Yeah, it was a little girl. It's just very sad. I can show the class, yes. I can show the, hold on, let me put this down. Someone just sent me a message. I don't want that to be shown. Okay, class, this is me at Jesse's house on multiple screens. 1, 2, 3. We're on multiple screens. Some people put me on the TV and then the phone, you know, when we got to go on conspiracy store runs or conspiracy car washes or conspiracy dog walks, you know. I follow JRL on his Twitter feed. He does a lot of like right now breaking news, this, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, and it's nice to be able to like find it, stuff that's happening right now. And also Ixmel. I love Ixmel. Shout out to Mel. He's a good guy. He's a stand-up dude, and I watch him too. He does a lot of the same like breaking news. This is going on, you know, shooting, stuff like that. So those are people definitely you should follow if you already don't. Look at me shouting out channels that are like way bigger than mine and don't need my help. I'm always on your phone. I love this. I love this so much. I love it. I absolutely love it. But that is because I love all of you. There's 494 of you total right now. Numbers kind of going up and down on the platforms, three platforms. 370 something over on X. You are right, my dear. You are right, my dear. So here's I know we went through like a lot of random shit today. We did. I had a lot to do today, but we went through a lot of random subjects today. So the bottom line is this. The sewer turtle's a liar. He's a walking spam ad. If garbage had a spokesperson, it would be him. He catches felonies like they're Pokemon. We've learned all these things, class. He's still looking for that elusive Snorlax. Hasn't caught that one yet. So, you know, then don't be surprised if there's any more felonies that get tacked on. He still hasn't found Snorlax, right? He's still looking for Snorlax, okay? He's got to catch them all. That's the way you do Pokemon, all right? And he subscribes to Felonflix, hashtag Felonflix. Oh, yeah, and his blog smells like wet socks and broken dreams. Yep, that's what we learned. We've learned all of that and then some. We've also learned that when you're in a cult, you have to be deprogrammed. And I kid you not when I say this, some of these people actually have to like take time to be deprogrammed from sort of the cult thinking and the cult way that they have behaved all this time, just repeating the shit he says. You know, they don't even realize they're doing it. And even once they're out of the cult, they're still sort of doing it and sort of making excuses. And they catch themselves, though. At least at that point, right? They're deprogramming. They catch themselves. I actually, homework, right? Homework, class. Homework. I dare you to go look up brainwashing in a cult and how it's done, right? And then how it happens when they're deprogrammed. Literally. Because you will see the correlation almost instantly. And it's kind of fucking scary. Nobody should have sort of that much control over random people from everywhere. I have viewers from all over the world. Some of you, I mean, Casey left a little earlier because she's over the pond, right? We have those of you who are from Australia. We have those of you from Britain. We have people from the Netherlands, right? I have people who watch me from all over the world, all different places. We have East Africa, right? West Africa. We have all sorts of places that people watch me from. And I love that because some of you are the replay crew, right? And some of you watch me during the day when I'm on because I don't usually do night times anymore, although we have been doing special nighttime lives, which is awesome. Oh no, Ace Frehley lead guitarist from Kiss has died. A recent fall at home. Oh no, that is no good. Ugh. Gene Simmons. I mean, if you don't know who Gene Simmons is, I mean, come on. We had a car accident recently? I didn't know that. That's very sad. That's really sad. Recent fall. Yeah, I mean, it's sad too, because if anybody remembers the stream I did with Heels last year, she passed away from a literal fall, right? We were streaming and her feed just froze. And me and Voices were like, Heels, like your stream is frozen. And she had fallen and, you know, she had like a reduced lung capacity. And so she got a phone and they brought her to the hospital, but she ended up passing away that night. We thought, you know, she'd be fine, everything would be okay. And then I woke up the next morning and she had passed, right? And it all happened while I was streaming with her. You know, her camera wasn't on, but still. And I have to think about like the last conversation I had, which was a great conversation, but it just happened so suddenly, right? And then she's just gone. She was just gone, right? And that was tough. That was really hard, especially like when you're doing it here, right? And then she falls and it results in someone dying. That's terrible, you know? First Ozzy, now Gene. Yeah, I know, Ozzy. If you didn't love Ozzy Osbourne, I mean, come on. It's like saying you don't love Journey. You know, can't say you don't like Kiss. Can't say you don't like Journey. That's illegal. All right, it's illegal in my book if you say you don't like Kiss or Journey. I mean, that's what I have to say about that. Okay. Ace was 74 years old. So sad. ABC National News announced it. Oh, damn. That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Well, all of our love and prayers go to his family and all of his loved ones. It's going to be tough on them, you know. Sharon is a freaking rock star, all right? Sharon Osbourne is a freaking rock star, that lady. She has dealt with so much in her life, and she does it with such grace. I'm like, Sharon is the woman, all right? Go fucking Sharon. Go Sharon. Nirvana, Rolling Stones. Yeah, my child is giving us all the good, you know, musica. She loves music. And she got an old soul like me. My dad loved the Eagles. Loved the Eagles. Hotel California was his favorite song. Diane Keaton. Yeah. Aww. So sad, you guys. Oh my God, I've been here 2 hours and 44 minutes. All right. I'm wrapping this shit up. I'm wrapping it up. It does heal the soul. Stop it. You don't like the Beatles. Stop. Listen, they're not my kind of music, but they're just so iconic, right? Like I can say I don't love the Beatles music because it's not my like genre or my, you know, maybe it's my age, but I gotta love the Beatles just because they're so iconic. You know what I'm saying? Like they just are. All right, I'm wrapping it up. I love your stinking faces. Per usual, if you catch me on the restream, you can still donate, of course, one of these ways, including Chime. All of the stuff is in the description of the video, including our Amazon wish list, and then our link as well that you can use for credit or debit. And we'll, if you donate and we're not live anymore, we'll just read it on the next one like we always do, per usual. I'll check real quick just to make sure there's nothing else. I don't want to miss anyone. I think I got them all. Yep, I did. Ray from Dallas bullied them. Well, he's not very nice. Right? Thank you. Exactly, Lisa. Elvis is cool. Elvis will always be cool. Okay? Elvis is Elvis. All right. Remember, tomorrow's show is early because I have a lot to do tomorrow. So I have to like spend the majority of my day sort of doing all that. And I have baking I have to do too. So we'll be on early. So about 9:30, we're going to start our stream so that I can be done around 12:30 and have the rest of the day to do all the stuff I got to do. So I love your stinking faces. In the meantime, everybody have an amazing night. Everybody go relax, watch something you want to watch, curl up with your blankie, or if it's daytime, curl up with a book, maybe. Don't miss me too much. I miss all of you. I'll see you all tomorrow.